How is everybody doing? Welcome back to the Friday Night Delight. We are live, and we got some stupid news. I heard about what happened with the New York Giants after their all-pro defender declared a trade after what looked to be some optimism around the offseason for the New York Giants. So I'm a bit conflicted how to feel. Besides that, we got some Friday Night Smackdown. I'm going to be reacting to that in just a moment. Had to come from the grocery store. I was running errands and the conversation took a bit long. So I apologize. I mean, I should schedule these in advance if I want to make them consistent. Thanks. Those are the only times I'd be available after late night work. So that's my accord. And, mid-work day, unless, all you guys, want to gravitate to baseball, not a lot of content can be done. There's not been a lot of breaking news. But I did see a couple things around this week. If you guys watch NBA basketball, or you guys are a residential Oklahoma City Thunder fan, if the player Darius Bazley rings a bit of a bell, he was a notable forward on the time he was drafted with a 22nd overall pick back in the 2019 draft. If you look around the 2018 draft, he was a notable Ohio high school phenom, but NBA didn't work well. After his time rotating with certain teams, became a young journeyman. Now he's out the league. He got into a fight as soon as he played in the Chinese league. Let me see if I have it here on X. This is raw footage. So I hope I don't get in trouble for this. Because I know that's the biggest attention he got. Oh, also that Malcolm in the Middle reboots came in. And the last time he was in the NBA, he was an NBA affiliate in the G League, playing with Dalton Knecht. That was a 17th overall pick. And here's footage of him.
Through the next inbound out of bounds.
Middle of an inbound. So let's see how this all happened.
Simple inbound pass.
So Darius Bazley was going. So a bit of a defensive breakdown, inbound on the play. Darius Bazley with a lackadaisical inbound. Teammate couldn't close in time, and he just threw it without even hesitating and finding an option. Letting him get a jumper.
He argued with teammate
Inbound again.
Simpson deliberately threw the next inbound out of bounds and shoved a teammate who tried to calm him down.
Getting a violation on the possession.
Never returned. Name both.
Timeout in the middle of an argument.
Their message in our
miscommunication with teammates, are arguing, acting privileged.
Bazley averaged just 4.
This would all be a given if he was hooping, but he was averaging 4 points on the day. He averages 4 points on the Chinese league, and that's unheard of. Whenever you even see rotational fan favorites in G League Chinese league teams, they play phenomenal. I know a lot of fans know who J.R. Smith is. That guy was averaging 50 points a night playing for that team. Not Latrell Sprewell. It was Stephon Marbury. I think a lot of Knicks fans would remember who Stephon Marbury is. Guy was the certified bucket. I guess it's after I guess the franchise didn't know his value, and some franchises didn't want to take his contract, so he played in the Chinese league for a lengthy period. He became like a legend. Guy got a statue. Darius Baisley, he's like 6'9", and he feels ineffective in the highest and high level basketball. That's a shame. You hate to see like young players that have like the look of they could do a lot more, but it doesn't happen. What you gonna do? Also, what's this about Jey Uso dating Jada Parker? Why am I getting that as news? Why are y'all trying to ruin my day on Twitter? Why is that like the biggest concern? I'm having a decent cheat day. I just slammed a decent pizza. Going to go to the gym early in the morning. Watch up on some wrestling. Then you want to tell me Jada Parker is ruining herself with this drunken botch fest mess that is Jey Uso. And she a certified baddie, bro. Waste. What a waste. He keeps showing me probably overseas stream because they give me commercials up the ass in the United States. Thank God for that. I don't want to get monetized up the gills. Nick Aldis under strict orders. Oh no. Okay, lines. I'm under strict orders to. You are not allowed to lay your hands on Pat McAfee. Who are you to take orders from? It's coming from above me, Cody. Nick Aldis tells Cody Rhodes he can't touch Pat McAfee. And I guess there was a fight over in Gorilla. Oh no, that's Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquera, I think. It's Rebel Heart. It's Rebel Heart. Oh, there was a segment with Io Sky and Ripley. Unsanctioned match between McIntyre and Jacob Fatu will be the second unsanctioned match in WWE history. Since what? Why does this match stipulation have to exist? That conflicts with me like a lot. Do you know your enemy? Do you know your enemy? I'm talking about the enemy. All right. Oh wait, let me charge my phone. Holy crap. Oh. McIntyre's with his promo. In a jail cell. Symbolically trying to mock Jacob Fatu's legal history. Being in the wrong side of the streets. So why not make this a goddamn cage match? Wouldn't that make sense for WrestleMania? These niggas. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm not trying to always be so. These assholes coming around fighting all over the place, almost getting themselves hospitalized, and it's like, hey, you know what? You and me are gonna take this somewhere else. Jacob Fatu calls that it's gonna be a cage match because you've never been locked up with somebody like me. Do not stretch this beyond the pay per view. Do not stretch this. You hinder both men's momentum if you do that. A cage match would work so much instead of an unsanctioned match. That's the equivalent shit of what they did with Jey Uso and Jimmy. Just make it a basic bitch no DQ that ended with barely a contest. No man got over after all that. I'm not even saying not to hate. I'm literally trying to say that as something to capitalize over the feud. Hell, we could have done a Jacob Fatu doing a moonsault outside of the cage at WrestleMania, on top of the cage at WrestleMania to get it over. And, hey, Jacob, you're paying for that fucking TV. You fat piece of shit. Coming around punching the damn TV because he mocks your criminal history. Why not break the whole thing? All right. Not that I mean. So shouldn't you be in dark matches with the White Six so you can stretch out TV time for SmackDown? So Tonga Valo is going to start spamming Japanese as soon as it starts. Don't forget Tawal Tonga. Tonga Lawa. Krakatawa! Family. Family. So it'll be Jacob Fatu versus Tama Tonga. Last week, I remember there was a bit of friction between them last time, costing them the lantern against Uncle Howdy last week on SmackDown. Ah, what we need, more Jelly Roll. He's going to be in the main event. Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Dicky, because somehow Lil Dicky gets involved in media. And that guy hasn't been relevant since the SoundCloud rap era. Oh my god! I love wrestling. Oh my god! Royce Keys gets TV time. Gang violence from the hood. I'm shocked. This nigga debuts January, and then he gets vignettes to promote himself as a wrestler at April. You gotta love TKO, folks. I mean, I heard it's because he lied about his age. That's why they pulled him from the live televised events because it was a punishment. And that ruins the long term investments of certain superstars. Look at Umaga. He was on Tough Enough, and you didn't see him until 2005. And not Umaga, the Boogeyman. The Boogeyman had the look, he had the body, and then just A lie like that, man, that hinders momentum. That hinders potential. Because there's a lot of guys that get this opportunity and they have to fabricate it just so they can get the opportunities. Yeah, but I do have hope for Royce Keys. I'm good luck with Royce Keys tonight. At a high, but there's no way out. You're going down. You're going down. Well, Royce Keys will be in action after his vignette. No, I don't want your QR code. Now, we're doing Shawn Michaels managing with the NXT talent documentaries. Oh, it's Prince Albert. And whoa, whoa, whoa! Why is the NXT talent getting Shawn Michaels over? It, do they want to know who the real OG? Hey, we got a guest on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Just a couple moments, John Jay. Hold on. Trying to find the perfect.
Yo,
What is going on?
nothing much. Got a day off today.
Awesome.
After working 8 days in a row, finally get a day off.
Damn. Making that paper for sure.
Got paid on Wednesday. Anyway, so filled up my fridge with food. So I'm eating
That's
good.
awesome, John Jay.
Eating good. Sorry about last week when the show ended.
What? There was nothing to apologize for, John Jay. I was just really tired.
No, yeah. I was trying to explain about the situation. You were talking about the Jamaican team, and I think I said something about the U.S. team, and I think we got a bit of a confusion. As I was trying to, I wasn't trying to keep you on for a long time. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
But besides all of that, yeah, I just wanted to pop in to say that and ask
No
you how
problem. Good to
the
see you.
wrestling is going.
Well, the show, we're nearly an hour into the show,
Mhm,
and it's been somewhat eventful. This is like the final full week before the pay-per-view. That will
mhm,
be in Las Vegas again.
mm.
And Pat McAfee, you know who Pat McAfee is. He's involved himself with Randy Orton in the main event so far.
Yeah, I heard some news about that, but
Yeah,
I've been
he kicked
working
the guy in the
too
nuts.
much. Yeah, people are mad at him. I don't know.
Because it like involves like a guy that's not like wrestler related.
Last
And they
year I
need
was.
somebody to get the revenue for the WrestleMania tickets. So
Mhm,
call it Jelly Roll, I Show Speed, somebody the kids like. Pat McAfee for sports watchers. I saw Lil Yachty. That guy was like a popular rapper back when I was in high school.
Wow, I have not heard that name in a while.
He was on SmackDown last week.
Trying to remember, my buddy's a huge fan of Wild and Out, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you little Yachty." I'm like, "Okay, I'm too old. I don't know who this guy is."
Well, he's been more of a producer than an artist lately.
Oh,
He's gotten a lot of people like he's been doing a lot more behind the scenes stuff since his career when he was a rapper. So he hasn't been pushing that much music out.
nice.
Still, there's WrestleMania Access that's going to be costing a second mortgage.
I heard that thing's gonna be on ESP.
ESPN Plus, Netflix, my child support, my next car note.
Oh man, Triple H's like, give me your money, Netflix.
Should have saw a WrestleMania ticket, John Jay. At this point, you're better off just spending money to go to the Azteca to watch the World Cup. At least you have 4 years to save up.
Mm-hmm.
WWE trying to put TKO trying to put you in a payment plan to watch pay-per-views on ESPN.
No.
We got Humberto and Garza. No, I'm sorry, Berto, because shortening names always work. I don't know if that's supposed to make you more luchador, that you shorten your name.
Yep.
WWE likes doing that. It's like, what's your channel name, John Jay? John Jay. It's John now. Love it. Love it. Make it sound ethnic. Juan J.
Juan J. I wish my name was Juan. I knew a Juan who was like super popular.
With the ladies, I guess.
They called him Juancito. Because
you know, they had something for John Cena when he wore luchador mask once. Juan Cena. I'm done.
Yeah, because all the ladies called him, oh, Juancito. Ladies.
Ooh, Chavo. What the hell is the cameraman doing? Oh, so Royce Keys finally makes his debut, even though he debuted on the Royal Rumble. Since some political problems backstage, it took a while for him to even get a match on live television.
Mm.
Mind you, the Royal Rumble starts in January. It is now April 10th. And now this is his first match since debuting. Now, if I hear any backlog that he probably was hurt, I'll give it a slide, but the first thing you do to a man is hit him in the back of his head several times. Come on. Oh, I saw some news. A former NBA player, he plays in China now, got into a fight with his teammates. Brother got fired right afterwards.
Wait, what? That's
yeah, he got fired right afterwards. He used to play for the Thunder. Started hopping in teams, and now he's in China and just 25 years old.
Wow.
So that brother wasn't that good at all. Like you remember J.R. Smith?
Yep.
That brother was averaging 35 a night when he was playing in China before the NBA called him back up. And this brother is like taller and more athletic than J.R. Smith ever would be. Even though, mind you, if you watch J.R. Smith when he was on the Denver Nuggets, 2008, J.R. Smith would have been your favorite player to watch. Missile dropkick. Brother was doing 360 dunks like it was nothing.
There was a slogan when I was a kid. If you got cut by an NBA team and you were signed by like a pro-am team in America, because this is before the Gatorade Basketball League, you were like balling. If you went to like Mexico and because they play basketball, not good, but they play basketball, and you made it there, they would say, well, you weren't good enough to be an American basketball player. Now you can be garbage and you can play overseas, and they're like, oh, this is so great. But being cut by China, you suck.
Yeah. And there's like a bunch of players that I'm sure NBA players that probably play the NBA video games because you get to remember the players a lot more. That watch them, or you're a certain fan of a specific team, and when you're a fan, a real fan, a lot of rotation players that don't get the notoriety. Like, it's ball knowledge that I know who Alonzo Trier was, and he used to be like when New York actually had prospects in high school basketball. Now we're not even a big market. It was like SoCal, California kids taking over the spotlight next to like the South, the deep South around Georgia basketball. And now you see him playing over in Puerto Rico. You see Hassan Whiteside. You probably remember Hassan Whiteside. Shanghai Sharks. Shanghai Sharks, yeah. Eric Bledsoe also plays for the Shanghai Sharks. You probably remember from his time on the the Milwaukee Bucks, the Philadelphia 76ers, the Phoenix Suns, New Orleans Pelicans. He has a bit of a tenure in the NBA, so, you got to make some money. But Darius Baisley was like a first-round pick barely a decade ago. John Jay, he got drafted the time I graduated high school. And instead of going to the NBA, you know where he went? Straight.
Where?
When you go to high school, and he was a 5-star recruit after his senior year. So instead of he denied his scholarship, and he was supposed to play in Ohio State, his hometown team. So you know what he did? He took an internship that got him a deal with New Balance. So he was trying to do the whole NIL thing without the extra steps. I think this was before the G League Ignite. So he started playing for the G League and got himself opportunity to play for G League teams and get drafted around the NBA. And got picked over in the 22nd round pick. He didn't do much in the NBA after his time with the Thunder. And after like being a bit of a journeyman, and you haven't evolved your game if you're getting traded 3 times before you're 24 years old. He's not playing in China, and he got into a big spout after 3 turnovers on inbound plays. The guy's just not disciplined enough to play high-level basketball. This is bothering him. And I understand people take CBA as a joke. It's not a high level of NBA. Of basketball, I get it, especially around the United States. The CBA is not qualified as like where you want your dream job to be to play in high-level basketball. I get it. But, bro, be a professional. Make your money. Especially in the Chinese market where you can make yourself a brand. You remember Stephon Marbury?
Yep.
He got himself a statue and everything and has his own company, connections, and lived off his career over in China after his time in the NBA worn out. Jimmer Fredette also did the same thing. Jeremy Lin. So it's like you can even go to EuroLeague basket, play in Europe, and you actually get a more legitimate stint. Probably Uzbeki's. Sorry, I can't say the country, but Russian basketball, German basketball, Italian basketball is really well known. Spanish basketball, you'd be probably making some money with EuroLeague contracts. Greece. You know how many great Greece players come out? Not just Giannis Antetokounmpo. They make a name for themselves in the Olympics as well. So it's like a shame that you see like young guys like flare out. And I just saw Jelly Roll. I just saw fucking Jelly Roll. Yeah, he also made the theme song for the World Cup. That bastard's everywhere.
I had a friend. He passed away. He was only
my condolences.
27 years old. This was about, I want to say 11 years ago. He was born in Trinidad. His family moved to California, but he got a scholarship because he was from SoCal that brought him up to the Bay Area, and he played at a school called Santa Clara, where the 49ers play. It's a very small college.
Mm-hmm.
He played all 4 years. He tried out for the combine in the late 2000s, and the scouts were like, "Yeah, you are not good to be even a bench warmer." That's how bad he was. But he played all 4 years, but he was really, really good compared to the rest of his teammates who were scrubs, because Santa Clara is not known for basketball like other great programs.
Mm-hmm.
And so he went to Mexico, and then after that, the Korean Basketball League brought him over there for a couple of years, and then by 23, 24, he retired, and he made decent international money, and so he became a basketball counselor at one of my work sites. And this dude, even at his age, he could still ball. It's just that uh, wasn't at the level that even I think that time the G League was called the National Basketball Developmental League, which was probably less than 10 years old at the time he started working with us. So I think it was like 7 years when the league started. So he was there 3 years with us, and people were asking him, "Why did you keep playing in Korea?" He's like he could have done that and become a millionaire in Korea, but he missed the state so much that he started making a decent salary, got married. 6 months later, kicked the bucket very young. His mother stopped by because he was scheduled to work, and we were like surprised, who is this lady? And she told us what happened to her son. It was like so sad. 27 years old. He would have been almost 40 if he was still alive. But yeah, I
Damn
knew a
shame.
lot of players who were at that fringe. Today, the Gatorade League is a more viable option than going overseas, because you're still here, and the league has transformed more into like really, really good, because if you got a bad player but you don't want to lose them, you put them. And that's what the Warriors try to do with that kid Wiseman, who I knew was a bust because he was injured, and even when he was healthy, he was trash. So the G League is a really good thing the NBA started, because it's better for players who are good enough, who are on not able to continue playing, and you can even do a career, because I think minimum salary is like 40K a year, and if you're a good player, you're making league minimum from the NBA. So it's a viable path now.
And it's a possible call up because we know a bunch of come up stories. A lot of notable rotation pieces that's made it to NBA careers. Hell, some guys that I heard of became NBA champions. We got the Patrick Beverleys, the Bruce Browns, the Spencer Dinwiddies, Kyle Lowry. He had a short stint. If anybody remembers, he used to play for the Boston Celtics. Avery Bradley went down to the G League. Lou Williams went down to the G League. 3-time 6-man of the year. So it's a viable development system, but I think it's an individual development system. It doesn't really depict what role you could do, and I think that's the only hindrance. It doesn't teach you how to develop you as a team basketball player, but it does advance you as like this is a team that will either you excel and just beat down your competition and make it there, or you're already somebody that can't fit the rotation and they'll try to just squeeze more game time into you if you're getting DMP'd all the time. Like
Mm-hmm.
we see with like LeBron James' son, for example, even though I don't think he's that good. And I'm not even trying to hate on some Shador Sanders type stuff. Like, yeah, King can hoop, but not at the level. Hell, probably the same thing with who's the young brother on the Bryce James. He plays over in Arizona.
Mhm.
Didn't they make it to the Elite Eight this year?
Yeah, I've not seen a college tournament, so I don't know what happened.
I think Michigan, that went undefeated, won the tournament.
Mhm.
So they beat out uh, Chris Webber's team back from the 90s. That was probably one of the greatest Michigan schools college basketball teams of all time, with Jalen Rose and Pat McAfee's just flipping off the crowd right now. Pat McAfee's now the biggest bad guy on Friday Night SmackDown. That is sad to say. Trying to be the hype man for Randy Orton. Oh, did you hear about what's going on with the New York Giants?
The football team, right?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I'm not a Giants fan.
I think Lawrence just declared a trade. You know, when YTC's here, because I know you don't always focus on other region D.
Oh man, I wonder how he feels. I don't know if he. I think that's one of their good players.
No, yeah, he's one of the more notable defenders on the team
Mm-hmm.
that has the All-Pro name selection in his name. So he's a great player. It's probably a contractual thing. Pat McAfee versus Jelly Roll. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God. This is the state of WrestleMania, folks. I'm not saying that there hasn't been celebrity crossing over with wrestlers. Hell, WrestleMania 1 had Hulk Hogan. It had Roddy Piper versus Mr. T. Mr. T has been in like 3 consecutive WrestleManias. Just girls one. I don't know who that lady's name is who did like Girls Wanna Have Fun, that one hit wonder song that came out. But she was like very popular in the 80s. Everybody remembers the time Mike Tyson slapped Shawn Michaels. Oh no, he punched Shawn Michaels and cost him the WWF Championship. So I'm not saying you can't do crossovers with celebrities in wrestling, but bro, I saw I Show Speed on Monday Night Raw. Jelly Roll, that's like a country singer, intervening on the main event of the World Championship. And Pat McAfee is now like the second biggest bad guy on the television show, trying to say that the show sucks. It's like WWE wants to think they know what the audience is talking about and still try to spin it and feel like, oh, you guys are still going to watch the show regardless, right? Damn. Now pay the second mortgage for nosebleed seats. Moveset is all explosives, but it's giving me Ryback vibes. Damn, Black Ryback already. Damn, man. Yeah, I need my buddy Jelly Roll as guidance. You know what? We should have The Rock show up. You know what? What's Bruce Willis doing? Oh, hell no. You know what, John Joe? We need an extra running back on the team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what Ludacris is doing?
Oh my gosh, what's he's doing?
I don't know. We just need some random celebrity to just move the ball.
Yep.
Oh God.
Last weekend, was it last weekend? The World Cup trophy was in the Bay
Lego?
Area.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Lego commercial.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Yeah, we see the World Cup trophy. Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture of it. Yeah."
What happened?
Basically, the news covered it, and there was a bunch of fans who were like, "We're gonna win it all."
I mean, no. Oh, we better.
Someone said,
That's what I'm trying to say, folks.
Someone
I
said,
wasn't laughing. I wasn't laughing.
Someone said on the news, "Mexico in the finals."
Oh, hell no.
I think they'll do well, but I don't think they'll make it. I think Mexico will do better than us. I think Canada will like barely get out of the group and then lose in the round of 32, which will be their biggest ever success because Canada is not known for anything. Sorry, Canada.
Even hockey, as you saw in the Olympic.
It's the.
Guess who took gold?
I think
bunch of Yanks.
I think the U.S. will get out of the group because there's 48 teams. And even though a lot of people are like, oh, we got Australia and Paraguay, but we got Turkey. And Turkey murdered us last summer. So I think we'll get out of the group. I think we'll win one game and then we'll always choke out in the round of 16.
Somehow the quarterfinals always been our level. And the worst part, our defense is so poor. And it's not like when we had Reina as our keeper and he could just bail us out of trouble like he did back in the 2010 World Cup. We have such terrible goalkeeping. It's abysmal.
Matt Turner, I think his time is done. Thank you.
Isn't he back in the MLS?
Yep.
Oh, hell no. You see, John J., you see what I'm talking about?
And that's where he should be. No disrespect. Not every American player has to go to Europe. My argument is very simple. If you're good enough, you should play against good talent. But don't go because your agent or the powers of be in the United States Soccer Federation tell you to do so. Because Europe is great, but even Europe is starting to lose quality in their domestic leagues.
Look at the Premier League.
Yep.
I always thought that was an overrated league with a bunch of privileged British men that act like New Yorkers that are incredibly xenophobic. They only have like one mindset when it comes to the game of soccer, that they feel like they just revolve themselves economically around the European leagues. Like, if you don't play in the Premier League, that doesn't define your career. Go fuck yourself. I hate English fans. Don't get me wrong. I love watching the Premier League. I hate the English fan base. You guys were the Dallas Cowboys if it was a continent.
I know one time Gavin and Get On Kid. I want Gavin and Get On Kid to be on the same panel.
I saw Liverpool losing the Champions League, Gavin. I haven't forgot. This hate train's going to keep going. Sorry, go ahead, Dr.
Anyway, Gavin apparently found out that Get On Kid was a Man City fan.
Oh, no.
And Get On Kid basically turned his camera on, showing his like Man City little thing. He didn't show his face.
His scarf?
He showed jerseys and like players from like 10, 15 years ago. So says a lot. Says a lot. And so Gavin accused him, you're a fair weather fan. A real Premier League fan likes Liverpool. And then since then, I've been trolling him with that thing. Yeah, you guys are all fair weather. You guys be a Liverpool fan. I say that as a joke. Uh-huh. And then Gavin had to admit before 2026, his team was ace. So Gavin had to admit that.
I mean, right now they're kind of ass. Liverpool are not the same as how they were last time. Their best player has been struggling. Father Time has gotten the best of them, and they lost some crucial games this season. So it sucks. Speaking of England, though, you guys are going to lose in the quarterfinal.
England.
You guys were already complaining that you had a German coach be your national team coach. I'm telling you, England is the most behind the times country I've ever seen. You guys put curry on fries. It bothers me.
What year was it when they hired some famous Italian dude who was like known for he was a really good coach, but he always ends his farewell. Anyway, there was a year where England hired him and Conte? They got knocked out in the round of 16, And then the Italian coach
World Cup.
publicly after the loss, he said there's a reason why
Oh
England.
no, you're talking about Tottenham. You're not talking. Oh, okay.
No, I'm talking about the England national team. They were playing in the world. I don't know if it was
I
like
don't
20.
think they've ever had an Italian coach before.
Yeah, they did. I'm trying to remember his name. Anyway, eventually he went to play in not to play, coach in Russia, and then he was the Russian coach in 2018. But here's the point of this. After the game, he said there's a reason why Italy has 4 World Cups and England only has 1. Since he said that statement, Italy has been ass. And England has made it to like 2 Euro finals. So,
and lost both.
I know they did lose both, but what has Italy done since 20?
Oh, they haven't made a World Cup since 2014.
Yeah,
They've got eliminated in playoff rounds for the past 10 years, like 15-ish years. They haven't won a tournament win since when was my 7th birthday? Okay, that was around like 2006. These guys haven't won a tournament win since 2006.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. There's also a famous Portuguese coach who he wins everywhere, but he's an a-hole.
I think there's a bunch of guys that.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Basically, the Premier League, their goals are like basically like percentage-wise has dropped from the previous year, because in the last 5 years their goal totals have been going like over three goals per game. For the first time in years, they are now over 2 goals per game. It really shows you what's going on with the game. But unfortunately, club soccer in Europe, which was at a time prestige. If you played over there, it was prestige. Now it's just oversaturated with players because of certain countries. And our American players are not exceeding the expectations that I want overseas. Yes, what's his name? McKinney got a good extension from his Italy club,
Juventus.
but the coach has said, yes, we gave him money, but he's not starter material. He's good, but he's not starter material. And so why was he paid that much? And a rumor came out in the Italian newspapers that they want to do what happened to the second division in England, Josh Sargent, who at one time was supposed to be the next Landon Donovan, never lived up to the expectations, and now at 26 years old, he is now in Toronto FC. Is where he should have been. It's where he should have been. Not all these players are really good. Weston McKinney, you got your money, but I know what Italy's trying to do. They're trying to shop you back either to the States or a dumb team in Europe so they can rock the money, because that's what's happening. And then Christian Pulisic, who's supposed to be our star, apparently since the calendar year has not done any goal contributions, and then our dumb manager decided to put him as an attacker, which he's not meant to do. And so this is the problem. Like, we did everything the soccer pundits and all the soccer fans. We need a coach who's famous, who's played in a World Cup, who's played in international competition and has coached in Europe and has proven that he wins. And we did that. The guy is good, but no, he has not done what he was supposed to. Our players have to play in Europe. That's the only way they win a World Cup. We have that. and they're performing worse than MLS players that were playing in the 2000s, even in that transitional period where we had more players in Europe between the 2010 World Cup and the 2014 World Cup. What happened in the last 12 years?
Kind of plateaued.
And then Landon Donovan, who was on the Rich Eisen show, said when he was a kid, he didn't do any academies. He didn't do no pay to play system. He was out there playing with the Mexican kids, the Mexican American kids in Southern California. And he learned how to play soccer from them. He didn't learn from a class A license coach. He didn't learn, you know, and then he basically got sponsored because at the time MLS was still very early. It wasn't making money. And Nike discovered that generation in the 2010s and early 2010s. And then we said, let's go to the academy system. Maybe we need to let the clothing companies sponsor our players, and then maybe we'll be good again. Something has to change. And Landon Donovan said the 2000 Olympic team made it to the semifinals. Maybe, there's nothing wrong with playing in MLS. Maybe we have forgotten that maybe some players are overhyped. Plus, let's also not forget that even though in the past we have used foreign players, those players were good. Our new foreign players that we have, dual nationals, whatever, are garbage. That's why it's hard for me to like support the U.S. national team. And I say it, and Crazy Juice, makes fun of me, but I said I would rather root for the Mexican national team because at least when you look at their roster, they play in Liga MX. I know it's not the Premier League, but they still dominate our region, and they don't have the best Mexican players like they used to have in yesteryears. That's how bad America has got. When no disrespect to the Mexican national team, but we were better than you, and we were dominant. We actually had a 16-game win streak against you guys.
And that was the best part. There was an actual system where you guys could actually evolve games. A lot more people watch Chivas in America that, were very entertaining games to see. I think more people saw Chivas, Tigres, what else? Cruz Azul, right? Is that a team? I think that's a team over in League Max. Cruz Azul and Pumas. More people see the play style and see the evolution of these guys develop as the mainstay guys, and then you see what's his name? Chicharito, people called him. That he played for like United and Madrid, and he earned his reputation. And there's guys that still are mainstays on the national team for like a long time. Hell, I know Achua. My little cousin knows who Achua is. That's how much of his reputation, because he's been on the Mexican national team forever. I'm being serious. I mean, like forever. I think he's been on the Mexican national team as much as like Ronaldo has been in the Mexican national team. And his debut, Portuguese team. He debuted the time my youngest brother was born. Like that's how long it's been. And Pat McAfee just beat up Jelly Roll. Randy Orton just beat Cody Rhodes. Oh my goodness. But I can understand the low expectations for why you'd feel the doubt coming out of like the lack of established system in the United States national team. And what we saw the past two games before the tournament, I can understand the problem. And knowing how close is it away, I can feel like we're barely gonna make it out the group stage. I feel like we'll get grouped.
Well, someone brought this up with the expanded format.
Mm-hmm.
You can finish third,
Oh God.
and we basically this will be like a 1994 situation where the U.S. was between 12 and 16, and we made it out. Um, so that's probably why I feel we will get there. And that's why I say in the round of 32, because it's like the round of 16 has been cursed. The round of 32 is a new thing. So if we win this knockout game, it's our second knockout game, but quarterfinals is where we need to be because Rich Eisen was asking Landon Donovan on that interview. He says, and they're like, in 2002, when we made it to the quarterfinals, and then 2006 was a dumpster fire.
Oh God.
In 2010, we played the US played Ghana in an extra time and we lost 2-1. Landon Donovan could have forced penalty kicks, but he kicked the ball and it hit the top of the post. The goalkeeper jumped the wrong way, and that kick still pisses him off because they could have had a chance to go to penalties again. There still would not have been a chance. But imagine if he would have made that goal and hypothetically we would have won penalties. Landon Donovan's team in 2002 and in 2010 could have made the quarterfinals. Then in 2014, we got out of a tough group: Germany, Portugal, prime Ronaldo, and Ghana. And then we played Belgium when those young guys who are now that golden generation, which is now aging out. We played a really tough game. We could have, if we had that trajectory in 2002, 2010, and 2014, we would have been that consistent, that quarterfinals. And then unfortunately in 2018, our program had a serious setback, and we're seeing it right now, 8 years later.
Like Serginho Dest, that used to be a big American prospect that can play like winger and fullback. Giovanni Reina, he was supposed to be. I feel like the best player is like what, Pepe,
Yep.
and sometimes I know Pulisic can be a bit inconsistent, but he's still, I feel like, the clutcher player that we have on the rotation. Tim Ream should get deported to whatever ancestry he came from. He causes like 90% of the errors that got us out of the CONCACAF Nations League and out of our own CONCACAF Cup that we have, that we regularly win for the past 3 tournaments. We lose to Mexico. We get destroyed by Jamaica. We lost to some independent British nations that have been colonized for the past 100 years that hasn't developed a system. I swear there was like one time we nearly lost to Trinidad again, and that costed us a trip to go to Russia for the World Cup back in 2018. I still remember that game, John Jay. When it was a free kick miss. These guys couldn't shoot to save their lives. I had to hate on Trinidad and Tobago for a whole 3 years until I got over it. But I shouldn't even be blaming the country because they played their ass off to get where they had to be. The United States always wanted to have a chip on their shoulder when they know damn well they ain't shit at the sport. They have no culture being around. That they just feel like it's another sport to profit over. But nobody cares. And I think that's why. If they're just satisfied with getting the notoriety that they have players in the Dutch league and the Italian league or the British league or the German league, when it looks more like a PR stunt. than actually developing and getting notable players. Pulisic hasn't been relevant since his time in Chelsea. Being in AC Milan is practically a retirement home. You know why it's a retirement home, John Jay?
Why?
Luka Modric is there. 40-year-old Luka Modric is the best player on the team.
Oh, yeah,
like it was when Zlatan Ibrahimovic was there.
That dude is still playing.
Yeah, he's still playing. Mr. Consistent. The guy is never out of shape.
Now, maybe I may have some bias, but during that time when Christian Pulisic was in Chelsea, that was the 2020 campaign, and I think they won the Champions League during that transitional phase. I'm not trying to diminish Chelsea because, again, there was no fans in the stands. There were still those protocols, all that stuff. And because of that, in my book, because he was over there and he was not the main player on that team, he still performed in a weaker environment. Context matters when it comes to these things. And just like when I used to be the 49ers Ultimate Report, people hated the things that I would say about the 49ers because he's like, no one wants to hear facts, John. All we want to hear is about our feelings, and our feelings say this matters more than facts. So I'm sorry. And so that's why if you listen to my slogan, I always said is I'm 49ers Ultimate Report. I do the news. I give you my opinions. I give you an analysis, but I'm a diehard fan. And so I'm going to speak from the heart using logic and reasoning. And people didn't want to hear reasoning. Now, many people who I know in the 49ers community said we're done podcasting because no matter what they try to do, the bigger people, all they do is clickbait you and they get the people who want to be outraged. And so people who don't want to hear the information don't want to hear you, say this. And so that's why I would always say to people, and they would always come at me, wow, Jimmy Garoppolo was not a franchise quarterback. If you put him in autopilot in front of a car, he's basically driving the car, but the team is driving the car and he's just a passenger on the front seat. And that was my analogy. We could win with him, but would he be like all the superstar quarterbacks in the NFL? No. And people hated that. I said, Trey Lance, all he had to do was do what Jimmy Garoppolo did. Let the team carry him. No, Trey Lance is going to be the next Lamar Jackson / Patrick Mahomes. How did that work out? So the same thing when it comes to soccer. Soccer fans are very, very so crazy. And sometimes you have to hear the reality. If we're going to have soccer in America, we got to do it the way we know how we do sports. We cannot do it how England does it or Spain does it, or even in the South American continent, how they do it. We have to do it our way. And if our way sucks, it did pretty well in the early MLS days because what's his name? Clem Dempsey, who played 4 seasons in Major League Soccer out of college, went to England and had a decent career over there. MLS needs to be the tool so they can get professional reps. And once they grow out of the league, then they can go. Let's not just put them in the MLS academies. And then when they age out, we sell them because they have to play. And that's why a lot of our players in those days, MLS was a path to get better. And then they can go overseas. And we forgot that model. Then we started to say, hey, they're 15, 16, 17. Let's just send them to Europe. And then the Europeans will develop them for us. And no disrespect to the Europeans, the American has that that American sports toughness is like when you get punched in the face, you get back up. I'm not saying that in Europe, when they get punched in the face, they don't get back up. In America, it's kind of a bit different because when you go and ask a person, if someone is trying to knock you out, you're going to punch them back. That's
Oh
that's
wow.
that's what we need to do again in soccer. Unfortunately, the powers that be says the academy system gets people who actually want to pay. But then you're basically telling everybody else, well, if you don't have money, you suck. And that's the problem. And so soccer fans will always continue this narrative. And if we continue this path, soccer could fail in the United States.
And it probably won't take less time because I think the women's U.S. Soccer League is a bit more notable for establishing themselves first before they go abroad. Also, a bit of breaking news, a bit delayed, a bit late, but yeah, Dontavion Wicks to the Philadelphia Eagles in exchange for a 2026 fifth round pick and 2027 sixth round pick.
Oh, Spongy's like,
Also, he'll be getting 12.5 million.
now Spongy's like, we're going to win the Super Bowl, Jay.
Dontavion Wicks, he was more of a rotation slot, wasn't he?
I don't know.
But because you don't see him except it was like major yards on third, or like he'd be rotation. And I forgot Trayvon Walker was took as like a. Wasn't he the first overall pick this draft? He was selected over Aiden Hutchinson.
I forgot.
Oh
I
God!
forgot when he was drafted.
Like 2023, 2022. He was like a notable first round pick. I think he came from Clemson. Back when Clemson actually had notable draft pick. I'm joking. I'm joking. They're not a playoff contender anymore, but they're still a good football program.
On Wednesday.
Oh my God! If I see another celebrity now, it's just The Miz. That brother's been Mr. Consistent since 2004.
On Wednesday night, someone on the Wednesday night show said, we're going to see the Bears and Jaguars in the Super Bowl, and the Jaguars are going to win. Sure, thank.
You mean the Orlando Jaguars? They will be temporarily relocating to Orlando for updated stadium. So they'll be using the stadium over in Orlando they use for bowl games. So, you know, at least they got a place where they can still fit over capacity. Probably expand their reach. Oh no, Trevor Lawrence. Oh no, 2021 was Trevor Lawrence, so hold on. Oh God, Danhausen's here. Brother is built like a twig. Who gets Papa John's free T-shirts on a Friday night SmackDown? What? That is such a shameless plug. Sponsored by John Jay. You have the shirt on. We don't get paid if they don't. You don't get paid if you don't get put on the shirt. Trayvon Walker. He was the first overall pick. He hasn't made any Pro Bowl selections. And he was took over Aiden Hutchinson, John Jay.
Wow.
Aiden Hutchinson was the second overall, 2 Pro Bowl. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler, and he made didn't he make a conference championship with the Detroit Lions, like the season prior when he lost to that was the divisional round when they lost to the Commanders. 5 career interceptions while having a more impressive solo tackle record and a more impressive total sack percentage. 43 sacks over Trayvon Walker. Like, I don't even see Trayvon Walker even getting that many QB pressures when he does stuff. Not a lot of defensive highlights when it comes to Trayvon Walker. on his career with the Jaguars. At least he has consistent starts. He had back-to-back 10 sacks in his 2023-2024 campaigns, but not really off the wall production except one tackle for loss that actually got negative yardage past 35 yards. I don't see why he'd get $100 million contract, in my opinion. I understand you need that nail. I know you need that nail in the coffin contract to, I guess, fit to try to build something up of a defense. But this isn't like Saxonville level production that you guys were getting back in 2017. That's for sure. But I feel like the Jaguars are going to be making some decent moves around the draft to still try to develop. Also, did you hear what's going to be happening with their first overall pick from the last year's draft, Travis Hunter?
Oh, I didn't hear what happened.
He'll be primarily playing at the secondary position.
I know. People call me stupid when I said eventually he's going to transition into one position. And last year, he played over 75% of his snaps on defense. And I said he won't be able to play now. Maybe his rookie year, maybe his second year, but by the end of his rookie contract, he will either be a wide receiver or a corner. So I knew that was going to happen. But a lot of people, oh, John, you don't know shit. Okay, I don't know shit.
Oh, I called that he was going to play corner, but I thought that was as soon as he got drafted, not the time second year in the NFL, because he had very little mobility off his hips to even create for himself, except being a gadget player around third down conversions whenever you see Jaguars games. So I thought he was going to be already escalated to be a corner off the jump because it showed that he didn't have the gifts that comes with being a wide receiver, at least 3 in the time, because I think Christian Kirk was still on the team, and of course their wide receiver 1 was there already. So Travis Hunter was going to be the bare minimum of a slot corner, or he was going to be spreading out at the X gap. But nah, he was better off just using his explosiveness and his reaction time so he can pick out passes. He ain't talented enough to play at the high level when you see his tape for what he had in Colorado. And people say you're hating. And then the Jaguars see it because he's there in practice every day. He's like, hey, why not just one side of the ball? But coach, I was working hard. Yeah, but sometimes that hard work just shows what level that you're in, okay, son? Those are harsh words, John Jay. You know in high school you get to play multiple positions until they put you in the box you really belong in the higher levels. I know guys that came from playing like Jabril Peppers, right?
Yep.
He was, you know what he was called in high school?
What was it called?
A utility back.
Okay.
Brother was playing running back, linebacker, edge rusher, tight end, and everything except quarterback. Hell, I bet he was used for special teams. And yet, we have Travis Hunter that I'm sure is a very versatile athletic athlete, but you can always show off when you're against other raw prospects that probably haven't established their game style in a college level, that wouldn't be exposed against more highly tuned, well-trained, physically peaked NFL talent. And you see what happens when you push it with Travis Hunter. And I wish him luck next season. I really do. I think he does have something to give in the NFL level, unlike Shedeur Sanders. But I feel like secondary is something that he can actually flesh out for himself to help the Jaguars be successful to possibly win the division again. Oh God, I remember this run. Kadarius Toney. Remember when he was good? Wide receiver, YTC never saw this before. I'm not saying Florida. I'm saying that Kadarius Toney can actually make plays on the ball. Look at this. Watch this, John Jay. This is called a Kadarius Toney a catch. He hasn't done that since he was playing for the bottom-feeding Florida Gators. Patrick Surtain.
Speaking of Shador Sanders, our good friend Kenny says he's going to be the next Tom Brady.
Oh, God. Where does this blind? I don't want to say blind. Maybe there's something I ain't seeing. Maybe there's something I just ain't seeing, man. Don't get me wrong, John Jay. I support lost causes too. You remember D'Angelo Russell?
Yeah.
That one All-Star appearance had me hooked back in 2018, and since then he's out of the league. After he got traded to the Wizards. Enough said. So if Shador doesn't get cut or traded, and he spends at least a minimum 3-season career with the Cleveland Browns, we won't call it a failure.
Yep.
Oh, but he has a Pro Bowl. He has a Pro Bowl selection. Yeah, nobody else was there. Everybody else didn't want to be there or they were hurt. That's why we saw 40-year-old Joe Flacco. Damn. 1, 2, no. Kick out from Krakatoa. I'm kidding. Jacob Fatu was the kick out. So many Samoans in one show. You thought it was back in California. I'm joking.
Like I said, I like Kenny.
I love my Samoan brothers.
I like Kenny. He's very sarcastic, because he says he's originally from New Jersey, and so he says that's how they talk out there or whatever. But I don't know what he sees with Shador Sanders. What I see is a quarterback that has a lot of potential.
I'm sorry.
You all right?
I'm good. I had to hydrate. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm good.
I was saying, I do want Shador Sanders to succeed, but in Cleveland, it's not going to happen. Maybe if he went to the Steelers or somewhere else, and I think Mike Tomlin made a bad mistake. Is that no disrespect to Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers was washed. He was done. And I don't know if he wants to play again. If I'm the Steelers, just let the dude go. And I know Shador isn't anything special, but with a defense like the Steelers, you'll have a competent quarterback and you'll continue winning 8 or 9 games every year, which what the Steelers are known for. But Mike Tomlin said, you know what? I'll pass on Shador. I'm going to go with old Aaron Rodgers. That is a former NFL black head coach who has given a lot of opportunities for black coaches in the NFL on his staff, etc. And it shows you the type of coach he is. And when he says, nah, Shador is not a Steeler-like player, that says a lot about Shador Sanders. And I'm not saying he's a bad kid, and I know Kenny defends him for some.
God forbid that. Yeah, maybe he isn't as talented for this level. That means that I always hated black people. Never a fan. I dislike the civil rights, and my least favorite month is February. Like, you can't say that. Yeah, I just don't see the hype with the kid. You can't say that. God forbid. A lot of people were complaining about Bronny James not being in the NBA. and the first thought was race instead of nepotism. And people were considering the same thing for Shedeur Sanders.
Oh, LeBron James his son for sure was nepotism.
Like everybody knows nepotism.
Because David Corona is a Laker fan, and David Corona tells me all the time when LeBron's son is on a team, he is not performing NBA level. When he goes to the National Development League, he is like too good to be over there. So LeBron James' son is like, should have stayed another year in college, and then he would have been a better player. But because LeBron wanted to play with his son so badly, and LeBron is who he is, it's the same thing with Deion Sanders. Like, they're going to give his son special treatment. Now, I'm going to say something that's going to get me canceled and in trouble, but I really don't care. It doesn't matter if your father is Tom Brady and Tom Brady gets his son on an NFL team. That's nepotism. It doesn't matter if you're Deion Sanders or LeBron James. They use their connections to get their sons in the NFL. That is nepotism. Enough with this white black bullshit. Rich fathers do it all the time for their kids.
Hell, if Sharif O'Neal, the son of Shaquille O'Neal, didn't have that heart issue, he would have gotten the contract with the Los Angeles Lakers same time, or before Bronny James, before his heart condition. God rest. I know he's doing good right now in the Shaquille O'Neal brand right now. He's designing shoes instead of playing basketball, but that's over the process of nepotism. If you're not going to be affiliated with the way he played, he's going to be affiliated in the same brand. And hell, I'm not going to even ruin it because we all use nepotism in some sticks, but that's over the opportunity of jobs. Like, I remember Bronny James was taking over minutes that could have been easy to develop an actual established draft pick that the Lakers actually got. I think he was from Tennessee, Dalton Connect. I'm sure David Corona knows who that kid is. I think he was over in the G League playing rotationary chances when the Lakers were trying to make themselves a contending team after trading for Luka Doncic. And since then, he's just been out of the rotation. So it's kind of sad that you see guys like that get just pulled over the rug for kids like that don't look like they belong here. But I understand it's like a dream for somebody. I'm sure anybody's dream is to have their job or spend time with their kid to what makes them happy. And who's gonna like say no to an opportunity to play with their dad that was like the greatest of all time for a long time? So it's like a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
who am I to try to ruin that moment?
I don't nepotism, like, and again, I tell people when we're not live, we do have conversations away from YouTube. I'm not afraid to say it on a platform.
Claymore.
I am not afraid to talk controversial topics because I don't have any skin in the game, and I don't have any ill will towards human beings. But you have to have these conversations. I grew up, my grandfather was always harsh on me, and he would tell me the truth. I remember when I was young, he says, John Jay, my grandfather said this, John Jay, you're lucky that you don't have any skin in the game. And I'm like, what? I'm a kid. Because the only people who have skin in the game is this people and that people. We are observers, but we're not allowed to give opinions because they will call us horrible things. The older I got, I started to realize my grandfather was telling me, we are dirt people. We're from the bottom. We're dirt, but we have to sympathize with the oppressed peoples. That's what he was trying to explain to me, that you cannot have a rational conversation about anything because we have to be dirt people, like people from the dirt, garbage. We're garbage people. We're disgusting. That's who we are. And so that's the problem, that society won't let anyone have a conversation, because if you go and travel, the great John Madden, A guy who was from the Bay Area, coached the Raiders for many years, lived in the East Bay. But when he traveled to other parts of the country, while his personal and his philosophy of his internal belief system was challenged, the people never criticized John Madden. People loved John Madden because he knew how to communicate with people of different people, different
Culture.
ideas, and that's why people love John Madden. They did not see John Madden as a dirt poor kid or a rich kid because he was a Raider coach and he was on network television getting paid lots of money. They only saw John Madden, the human being. We don't live in a world like that no more. We have to be like intense. You have to be in this tent, or you have to be in that tent. Society teaches us, and I will always say this: I don't care if Shador had it easy. I don't care if he had it rough. He had a rich father, a famous father, and so his life was pretty simple.
Yeah, that's why his words, knowing from experience how the world really works. You know, there's certain always people like that, but they always have their own way of saying it. That you got guys of that generation that know how to say it, but they have their own spin on how they say it.
Oh man, yeah. YTC would always tell me that he doesn't like being controversial, and I would tell him sometimes you do have to be controversial. I know it will make you look like a bad person, but if a person who does not have any ill will towards other people is not afraid to tell the truth and then show people why the truth is much worse than saying it, because when you tell the truth, just like when you're in front of a judge and the judge says, "Are you going to tell the truth?" You can lie.
I agree. You know what's the craziest thing? I said this, and people thought I was just trying to be, I was trying to be fake wise. It was like, if I can't get out of my comfort zone, how can I find a new comfort?
True.
It's just like food at the end of the day, man. But it's, some people have to say it. Hell, I say a player sucks, and I have my own explanation. I put my own opinion. But if you consider it hate, all power to you. But that's just me saying how I really feel. And most of the time, John Jay, I be saying these things, and I like the player. Hell, I loved Cam Newton, but I was when I started this channel and Cam Newton was on the New England Patriots in his second stint with the Carolina Panthers. I was like, this flaw's not going to help him last in the NFL long. And people thought I was just hating, and they were trying to bring to the time what he did for the Carolina Panthers organization. And then people gathered a new perspective why he didn't last as long. Brother is whipping him with a belt.
Someone's backstage.
That would not be me. Oh, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Jersey native. Welcome back, YTC. What's going on? I don't think I didn't put an applaud button.
Well, you guys summoned me and I appeared. So I'll stop.
Unlike my dad.
Oh.
Okay, I'm not touching that.
I'm sorry.
Nah, but I've learned to grow my comfort. I heard what you guys were saying, but yeah, I've learned to grow my comfort zone. People are fickle and have their own insecurities going on. I don't pay too much what they think of me.
Facts.
I'm not insecure. I'm John Jay. I'm dumb. I'm just playing. It's a little inside joke.
I have total confidence on the Niners next year.
Hey! In the great wise words of David Corona, the Niners are gonna win it, John Jay.
Well, John Jay, I lost my bet. I gotta support the Jets for a year.
So basically, become an alcoholic.
Yeah. I have family members that said if the Niners make it to the NFC title game, you don't have to support the Jets.
Well, the Niners were injured again. I don't want to use the technicality we were injured and somehow and then in the division round,
that's coaching. That's what coaching does.
And in the divisional round, George Kittle against the Eagles suffered a Achilles injury, and that summed it up. When we're playing against the Eagles at their home, and then our best offensive player suffers an Achilles injury, that's the story.
And also Jalen Hurts' ass.
It's okay, John. Technicality or not, it's written in the history book. So
that and also Jalen Hurts' ass. Because how do you throw in the triple coverage on the final play of the game to the same tight end you were
can't even go to the gym tonight.
Secondly, first off, they got to stop talking about our defensive tackle when they can't even keep a coordinator for more than one a season because they know Jalen Hurts is that ass.
They came from getting Nagy.
They keep passing around coordinators towards Jalen Hurts every year. They can't even keep one.
Our Truth and Damian. Oh no, YTC. You know what's the craziest thing? When they do the ESPN podium thing on a show backstage, you know what that means? Those guys are not going to be on the pay-per-view. Our Truth and Damian Priest are not going to be at WrestleMania.
Not even the Memorial Battle Dam. They don't even do it there no more.
Oh no, the Memorial Battle Royals at the final episode. Before
they should have just kept it on WrestleMania, but guess what? They didn't want to do that.
No, they don't even want to put McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. It's like, here's the feud. McIntyre
also, once again, we own the Raptors.
They costed each other the world title.
We just beat the Raptors right now. Once again, now we're 11-0 against them. Yeah, we're 11-0 against them now ever since he talked crap.
So
they're about to choke the all-time lead.
Spongy on Wednesday was like,
Knicks are going to win the NBA title, John Jay. We're going to win it. Let me have this delusion once.
Hold on. So Spongy on Wednesday, really wants a Friday show, and I said, well, every now and then DST does a show. Oh, okay, I'll be there, John Jay. Where is he? Because he's like, I want a Friday show.
Well, I think that's a fault of mine because I don't advertise.
And also,
I should be. So that's on me. I don't want to put that on Spongy because he doesn't know I upload when I upload because I didn't promote. So that can't. So that I'm not going to put that on Spongy.
But that's the thing. We're all busy with our lives as well. Spongy, can't force us to inconvenience ourselves, just to do these.
Remember, Spongy says he has a life.
Yeah, thankfully it's a day off for me.
He's like, we need a Friday show again, John Jay. Anyway,
I literally just came from a work and I had to put a tape around my toe after a blister. So, you tell me, Sponge.
Yeah, you got to get yourself some insoles for that, man.
I worked 8 days in a row. I finally got the day off. My paycheck came in. It was fat. They're like, here's your commission plus your paycheck. I'm like, you know what? Maybe David Corona will get his $20 that I owe.
Oh no!
I just need to see him because I lost his phone number.
We don't get a commission for the Mets for the Giants Yankee series. Nothing. Okay.
No, I still got his number. He still texts me every now and then. I guess I got his number too.
Corona still crying victim. Oh my god.
Yeah, Corona
will text me every now and then. Yeah.
He works more now. Like I think the last couple of Wednesdays he hasn't been there now because my new job. You guys are not going to see me because on Saturdays I work late, and like I said, I'm making my money.
Yeah. No, but I'm only gonna just do this draft and then probably hang on once a month, and that's it at the bare minimum.
What's his name? McNiner. I think he really wants to do the draft because he keeps saying, "What are we gonna do for the draft, guys? What are we gonna do?" You know what, McNiner? It seems you want it.
Art Green.
Just do it. You have StreamYard.
Yeah.
And plus, you could just do it the time you don't have work. I'm just saying. Some of you guys can pre-record your content.
Luckily, every year the stream works to my convenience because it's always on the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, after I get out of work.
I am going to miss day one of the draft. I might have Friday off. For sure, Saturday I will be working.
I'm about to have my money saved so I can play some bets on the draft order so I can try to make some money.
At the end of the day, and again, it's nothing personal, but like I'm really starting to get tired of the Wednesday show. You know, like, and I
mean, you don't have to show up every week.
I know, like we honor Corey, but let's start taking the breaks because, like, I think you know, I don't want to sound like an asshole.
Here's
But
the thing,
No,
John.
no. John J,
John,
you're being
John,
honest,
here's
and you know that's sorry about that.
no, you're good. No, John. Here's the thing. You can still honor Corey by living your life to the fullest because he would have wanted it for all of us, anyways. So that's another way you can honor his memory. You don't always have to show up.
OG Ananobi had a busted ankle, and he still performed.
I just take his.
All I'm gonna say is this: like, I like everyone, you know, but there is going to come a time where, like, what are you actually doing? And now this is going to be insensitive, but if you got to do streams like all the time, even if it's like an hour, you know, when the season is over, in my mind, my question is, like, why are you really going on streams with people if you guys have lives? Now, again, maybe I'm a little bit too harsh. I just don't understand now because I stopped streaming and I really can care fucking less. Excuse my language. There's a question mark that
Lil Yachty again
that wants me to understand why. I know people have days off. I know people have days where there's nothing to do. But when you do it all the time, you don't really have like true responsibilities.
Lil Yachty sounds like a girl. I'm sorry.
Maybe my serious brain just, like, popped on the stream. And again, I'm not trying to provoke anybody or piss off anybody, but like, there's a reason why mental illness is becoming huge. And I'm not trying to say, I don't want to be like those assholes. I'm not saying social media is a problem. I'm saying, but why do you have to do it again and again and again? So, because that's the problem that I don't understand. I'm not saying don't stream. I'm just saying, if you're not making a check from YouTube or someone's not paying you to do this, you know what? I'm going to stop because I don't want to say something that crosses the line.
No, it's all right. I mean, I can understand that you feel like you're not being, profiting. You shouldn't be doing it as consistent as you can. And you could always take the time with the flexibility you got after work. You can maximize your content.
Why do you think
Sorry.
Why do you think I retired doing off-season content, like, doing the Yankee games and stuff like that? So it gets exhausting over time, like multiple games and also other streams I pop on.
Yeah, whatever.
This works to my convenience because I could pop in every once or 2 weeks, and it's on a Friday, and I get my paycheck, so I don't mind.
A month, I can, instead of like finding new racially motivated insults for the hitters and Jazz Chisholm striking out every time. So
we lost earlier. I first saw.
Yeah.
Well, the Giants.
Yachty looks like a fat Elijah Burke. What the fuck is this?
The Giants played Philadelphia. I think we beat them in the series.
Good. Yeah.
Well,
John, the Phillies are still the best team.
I haven't even checked the standings. It's only been a few weeks anyways.
I remember one time I was doing a stream and then Spongy was like, John, what happened to your Giants? Huh? And then Tommy Huxley was like, you guys are poverty. He said, what about you, Tommy? What's wrong with your Giants?
Phillies literally have like two. I think the Phillies only have 2 rings. No, he sounds like the gingerbread, man from fucking Shrek with that voice.
Oh, he's wearing a fog.
Let me tell you what I told Spongy on Wednesday. So because of my new job, I work at the famous tourist place, Pier 39 in San Francisco, because that was the only place that was hiring work. So I'm happy I'm doing really well. Because the Phillies were in town, guess who were in town? I saw a bunch of 76ers jerseys, a bunch of Philadelphia baseball jerseys, and of course Eagle fans. So I was wearing a 49er because I always wear hats. I love wearing caps. And I was wearing the 49er cap. This guy saw me on the booth. He was getting his tickets, for the tourist attractions, etc. And he said, hey, are you really a 49ers fan? I said, yes, I am. are you actually someone who lives here? Yeah, yes, I am. Okay, I just have one more question. I said, go ahead. When are you ever going to beat the Eagles?
Well, no wonder they lost. Well, no.
That was so hilarious. I was like, I'm at work. I want to start laughing, but my boss is watching me. So I'm like, I said, you have a good rest of your day. I wanted to laugh so hard. I wanted to say, what happened in the wild card round? Man, yeah. So there were a lot of people from Philadelphia, from the city. So people exist.
Matt Cardona.
No, they travel too. I'll give them one thing. Much as they hate that. Yeah.
Oh, Warriors are still in playing?
Oh wow, the Phillies are 6-7 right now. I guess you heard that right.
Oh
Warriors,
God,
the Warriors don't deserve to be in that plane. You suck. It's time to destroy everything. Let Curry go. Let release Draymond Green. It's time for.
I don't Trae Young is tyrant.
John Jay, don't you forget your best player in the team?
Best player in the team?
Brandon Podziemski.
Who?
Brandon Podziemski.
I know.
Starting guard in the Warriors.
He's not that bad. Now I'm not saying he's gonna be he's gonna like become the next Steph Curry, but that's a good player that we have there. But eventually we do have to address the problem is that we're an old team, and the owners, who I remember, we're gonna win championship, Warriors. We let Monte Ellis go. We're gonna win. All right, we won. You said what you wanted to do. Now let's try and run it back again. Can you do it again? Can you find a Curry in the draft, or are you going to do what you did when we got Kevin Durant on the team and we won a couple of more titles? It's time for the Warriors to wake up and realize Curry is not young anymore. He's not going to do it 10 more years. And I'm tired of these fake Warrior fans who keep saying we're going to do it. We're going to win in the play-in tournaments. We're going to have that magical run that happened with the baseball team. That's a different sport.
Oh, God. John Jay, I'm going to say you're in a better situation than the Mavericks were back when they were still playing Dirk Nowitzki at 41 years old. When Mark Cuban was the primary owner of the Mavericks. And they spent like a bag on a bunch of washed-up has-beens when they pulled like a contract for Dirk. They did get Vince Carter, Chandler Parsons. They got a max contract on Chandler Parsons. Tim Hardaway Jr.
Typical Yankees.
God, that guy hasn't been good since his time on the Hawks. Charlie Villanueva and fucking JJ.
Well, thank God the conference is asked right now.
And Rajon Rondo, that literally took off before the playoffs started, the time when he didn't get a contract extension. So I'm telling you, it could have been worse because after the 2011 NBA title for the Mavericks were in no man's land after they landed on Luka Doncic. And then they traded him away. So it could have been worse. I mean, other than that max contract you gave Jordan Poole to just sell him like 2 seasons after. I feel like that was still a weak decision. You should have kept him as a spark plug, but that max contract had to go.
Yeah, Steve Kerr, a dumbass, like letting Poole go because he was doing pretty well,
and trading away Jonathan Kuminga.
Well, Kuminga got fed up with Steve Kerr. I know you guys don't know who Damon Bruce is, but Damon Bruce covers not just the Niners but all the Bay Area sports, and he said Kerr's problem is that he does not trust the young guys. So when you had Jordan Poole, when you had Kuminga, all these young guys who are doing pretty good, and you kept them on the bench, and then Kuminga was like, you know what? You don't want to play me for some reason. At this time, Curry was out for a while, and you still didn't trust him enough to play him with the starters. And so he's like, trade me. And so he did. Like,
trade me. Fucking trade me.
Like Steve Kerr, when he became the coach, Mark Jackson, who was our basketball coach, took us to back-to-back playoffs. He did better than Don Nelson when Don Nelson returned as a Warriors coach in the mid to late 2010 in the 2000s. Took us to one playoff, and then after that we were garbage. Mark Jackson took us to two back-to-back playoffs, and that was not enough to say, you know what, you suck. Let's get Kerr. But at the time, Mark Jackson developed that team, and then he basically just ran with it. And I have arguments with fake Warrior fans where I live. Mark Jackson, if he would have stayed there the following year, we won it all. What are you talking about? Still pisses the hell out of me. Oh, Mark Jackson could have put us over the hump because his first two seasons, we were ass. So, man.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm sorry, man. It's like a lot of old movies. I've been saying this for
nothing good. New York Jets liquor can't fix, John Jay. Could have been worse.
I don't drink alcohol, so you know.
Me either. I just love making fun of my family.
I can't believe I'm going to say this because I would have pie thrown in my face. I do the Michael. I eat Little Caesars to get drunk. No, I'm just joking.
Little Caesars. Oh, wow.
I still drink Capri Sun. I'm kidding. I drink like 2 Monsters, and I'm about to go to the gym. Absolutely, like goosebumped out.
Oh man, I remember
it's going to be hectic. I don't know how I'm going to stay awake.
I'm still trying to find out how you can get drunk off an ice cream. Apparently,
I can't believe Michael one time had the nerve to say to my face, "Little Caesars is real pizza, John. Deal with it."
Little Caesars, really? That card was doing.
Is this affordable?
Little Caesars is more expensive than Domino's. That should tell you enough. And yet, that shit's ass.
Because Domino's is pink sweat and depression with mildew. No one eats Domino's unless they hate their children or they live in the projects.
I'd rather get local takeout.
Unpopular opinion: if you give your children Domino's, just say you hate your kids. Just say you hate your kids.
Well, if you hate the
Pizza Hut sucks.
What if you get them Little Caesars by comparison? If that's the metric we're at going.
Oh my god! I'd rather get Little Caesars because it looks like they at least cooked the pizza before they froze it back. It's just
that what about that or 7-Eleven pizza? Let's see your
lukewarm pizza. 7-Eleven pizza. I'd rather give my kid the 7-Eleven pizza. 7-Eleven Costco's pizza. That just shows that I want to marry the girl.
You know, local takeout where I'm at.
You know what? This is the piss off people, but I'm gonna say it. I would rather eat California Kitchen's pizza. For those who don't know what that is, California Pizza is a company that makes real pizza, but they put the weirdest ingredients and it's super overpriced. Just Google
honey. Is it something called hot honey?
It is a Southern Californian idea to make pizza a gourmet and health food.
Oh, God.
Over Little Caesars, and I don't like California. Plus, it's overpriced. Like a small cheese pizza from California Kitchen is $22. Again, it's a slice. No, for a small pizza, it's $22.
Go fuck yourself. I'm sorry, but yeah. Hell no.
Yeah, California.
Why every simple dish got to be some novelty? You go to Naples for a simple pie. I bet that shit costs you like only €7.
So, I'm sorry to Crazy Jews. I'm sorry to David Corona because they're from Southern California. But there's a reason why all these weird health craze happens in Southern California.
Don't remind me. I saw protein Pop-Tart. I saw protein soda. The fuck protein gotta be in soda? Protein gotta be in this. Protein. Guess what, kids? You're still gonna get diabetes.
Protein soda.
No, John Jay. I saw protein water bottles. I
Okay.
saw protein water bottles. Protein cereal. Why
Wow.
does your cereal need protein? I saw protein eggs, extra pack protein cheese sticks. Why? For the life of me. Guys, those health triangles that they teach you is simple nutrients. Food is about balance. And I've been raised around like a nutritionist and nurse for most of my life. A lot of my aunts and uncles are either dietitians, nurses that teach you about all this stuff. So like you get to know a lot of like soda bad, diet soda good, exercise with candy good, candy regular guy not good, simple crap, fish good, with cup of rice good. You can have your starch. Potatoes, you can eat a whole week's worth of potatoes. Sheep's nutrition free starch. I remember, John Jay. Like, I don't like calling parents stupid. I never like insulting parents because I know
Unless you
they want
project their
to.
insecurities into making them first child
I
experiment
understand what they
childs.
want to say is good for you. I'm coming from uh playing in the basketball court with some friends of mine. It's like, hey mom, are my grapes still in the fridge? Yes, of course. My aunt said, grapes have sugar. Okay,
Yet
fine.
they, yet they probably indulge in a lot of sugars in themselves.
You know what else got sugar? Sugar.
So I have
Apples
to.
got sugar. I have never seen a person, John. You ever saw a man pass out? Did you see a man go to cardiac arrest because he overate some apples?
So
I've
Carrots
heard a
have
woman who died from a fruit
so
diet only.
I am a certified.
strawberries have sugar.
So I am a okay. Besides my dumb junior college degree, I am a certified nutritionist. Okay, I don't know why, but all this stuff.
Nightmares
So
needed you, man.
when I went to school, we had a real nutritionist who practiced as an independent doctor for the campus. Okay, and so he was using his degree. And one thing that he was telling us is that what he would always show us
He ain't
that
winning that.
that stupid pyramid. He says, why at the top have bread, rice, pasta, grains up there? And we were like, well, that's what we ate when we were kids. Look at some of you guys, and now this doctor was kind of an asshole. Some of you guys do not have the body of a bodybuilder. And for you ladies, and again, he really, like, if he was a teacher today, he would get canceled. And you ladies, you do not have the Coca-Cola body. Okay, he was effed up. He says grains, all this stuff is good in moderations, but because we've been told for 30 years to eat grains, and we have proteins and fibers at the bottom saying that this stuff is not good for you because a study in the 80s says cholesterol comes from meat and too much fiber is going to give you colon cancer. And he said this, we have been lied to. Fiber does not give you colon cancer. Fiber is like that drain thing that you clear the drain.
Yeah, it cleans out your intestines, and that's why it
It
holds
gives
your
you
body.
good gut health. I think you can feed your chickens
Also,
pumpkin seeds.
Also, it's why it helps, food retain for like over 24 to 48 hours before you have to go, because fiber holds onto a lot of it. Yeah.
Fiber also keeps you basically keeps you full.
So in turn, consuming less in that regard, yeah.
It's like we should be teaching our kids to pick more dietary options that they can cook at home without eating out all day and going to fucking Wingstop.
I grew up in a female household. I was eventually taught to cook at some point, so I learned on my own. So
kids should be making their own baked potatoes, eating more fruits and veggies that have the sugar, starches, and dietary fiber, vitamin C stuff to keep their body clean, so they can stop being constipated 90% of the time. And Sami Zayn just gave Lil Yachty a hell of a
simple. Just drink water. That's what helped my constipation.
So now,
drink water.
Well, you get the flavors, the stupid flavor packets to sweeten up your drink a tiny bit. You don't have to always drink water.
So let's talk about protein. There's 3 lies about protein. Okay?
Protein ice cream.
When it comes to protein
shakes.
if you go like the young kids, John Jay go to TikToks. No. If you watch TikTok, these TikTok fitness dudes, you got to eat this much grams or this much pounds of protein. Protein is meant to fix the muscle in the body. And so if you're going to eat a whole chicken without any seasons, a whole chicken, it means that you worked out a lot and you probably burned about a couple hundred calories plus all the sweat that your body needs. Your body has no sugar. And so when you eat an entire chicken after a long workout, all it does, it fixes the muscle. After a workout, why do people say I have to drink a Gatorade after a workout? Because there's no sugar in the body. And so that's
also the sodium levels too.
So that's the first lie about protein. Protein is not going to make you buff. What it's going to do is repair muscle. So when you eat protein, you're repairing your muscles. And we do need to have muscles for different types of people. The second lie about protein is going to give you cholesterol. No. Red meat. So if you eat raw steak, you will get cholesterol. If you cook your steak and you have it medium, not medium well and not raw, medium, you have the perfect amount of cholesterol that your body needs and enough protein to fill your body. So that's the biggest lie, number 2. And the third lie is that protein has bacteria that is bad for the body. That's why they put all that stuff at the bottom. That is pork. Pork has fungus and germs, and that's why it tells you when you cook pork, it must be 180 degrees when you eat it. And it's not supposed to be pink in the middle. It has to be burned to eat it. And that's the reason why I don't eat pork, because the craziness of you. So what they have lied to you is that poultry, duck, turkey, chicken, and fish is what we should be eating every day. Not beef and not pork. You can still eat beef. So those are the lies that we've been told. That's the reason why they said, if you want to lose weight, eat a lot of chicken, eat a lot of poultry, eat a lot of turkey, and of course fish, because fish has a thing known as fatty omega acids, the fats that the body needs. And because we don't eat enough fish, we don't have that fat that the body needs, because when you have that fat, you also burn weight. So that's the reason why we've been lied to. It's okay to eat fats. You eat the fish fat for the body. And so that's the reason why we have been lied to when it comes to eating. Also, when it comes to sugar, you have 3 types of sugar: fake sugar, complex sugar, and natural sugars. What is complex sugars? A mixture of healthy grain sugars mixed with our fruit. And then, of course, you have your natural sugars, which is basically things that are sweet naturally. That's why if you go to the Caribbean and the poor kids are chewing a leaf, because you're eating the natural sugar from that dumb plant. So
sure.
I'm sorry that I got heated when it comes, but a lot of people tell me, oh, but I'm eating this and I'm following the TikTok trends and I gain more weight.
Oh yeah, you're doing that without even exercise. And people do this without even exercising.
First off,
you don't have a moderate amount.
Are they even using a scale? That's what I want to know. Or they don't even portion their foods? That's the bigger question, right?
And it's a big pet peeve whenever
because a lot of people overestimate how much they're actually eating, and they don't check their servings on the gram scale. So that's what worked for me. So they kind of overeat. So that's why they don't check.
Use a goddamn Splenda. Hell, you can eat a Hershey bar. You can eat chocolate.
I've eaten fast food and still dropped the weight. It's all about consistency. That's all it is. That's all it's ever been.
It's that simple. Beans. You can eat a fucking burrito for lunch. Breakfast.
Yeah, it's the way you prepare it. Yeah, exactly.
The way you prepare it. You don't need Wingstop every day. You can have a fucking potato. You can eat fries. You just don't fry them.
Half
It
of the
just
fat you can just make it at home. You could make homemade wings at home.
You
At
can
that
make
point,
your
it's
own
much
pizza
better.
at home and it's healthier. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
exactly.
don't get corn tortillas. Put some ketchup on that shit with cheese. You don't need to hood it up.
Yeah,
You don't need to hood it up.
that's a
I'm
struggle.
sorry, I know
That's
that
a
was a
struggle meal. That's
I
a
know it's
struggle meal
funny.
right there. I heard that struggle meal in that.
That was
right there.
funny.
So I'm sorry. That was a sorry for
Ketchup and
Ketchup.
tortilla.
That's desperation right there. God damn.
Listen,
Well,
I was poor, but one thing that I would always find in my pantry was mac and cheese because I remember, and again, maybe because
Thank you.
everything was so, now everything's so expensive. I remember the discounted box store macaroni and cheese compared to Kraft. They would sell you a box of 10 mac and cheese for $1.99. This is when John Jay was in high school and college. Showed you how many years have passed by since I was in college. When I was like really desperate for food, I would just eat mac and cheese. Now, yeah, eating too much mac and cheese is not good for you, but when you're on a budget,
Mm-hmm.
that's the reason why. And I want to shout out my grandpa and my dad who taught me this trick. All you have to do is get ground beef that is 2 days before the expiration date because they're going to sell it 70% off. And we would get that and we would get mac and cheese. Or if those like cheap ground sausage from our thing's called Safeway out here. It's a West Coast store. We would get those, like ground sausages, and we would just mix them up with cheap Alfredo sauce and basically have mac and cheese for 3 days in a row. And so it was like something that everyone loves. It was cheap to make, affordable. So we grew up with that. Or we would get those ramen noodles, in bulk, and we would
sodium
have
bomb.
So when we didn't have food,
they're showing WrestleMania 24 rewind. That's cool.
Uh-huh.
So when we didn't have like real food in the fridge, we had that. So even in our worst times, my father taught me how to turn cheap ingredients into gourmet food. Okay. And so shout out to the discounted box store brand companies. Even today, I still buy the cheap box brand stuff because it's cheaper. Now, everything, just like David Corona told me in Southern California, gas prices are $8. And I'm like, you want to know how much
What the fuck?
Yes.
$8.
You ever heard of horseback?
No.
Well, you're gonna have to. Well, you might have to learn to ride a bicycle at this point.
So
damn.
I passed by my local gas station.
Make it Amish. Jesus.
And for the first time ever in my life, gas is $6. I thought $4 was $6. And so there's a reason why California is not meant for you to have a car because you can't afford gas.
They're trying to make everything walking distance in that bitch.
I mean, you could just drop the weight just walking alone. I lost the weight alone walking. They could take a page out of it.
So that's the problem. And I tell people, if things were more cheaper in California, people would be more happier. But because we are the only state, and
Donovan Mitchell had the under in this.
This is the only thing I'm going to admit to Michael, and unfortunately he's not here. Besides all the stuff, the biggest issue that we have is that we are an overregulated and overtaxed state. And that's why people out here are so dumb, because we're so fucked up that we have to steal to. Okay, stop. No,
just like you did our baseball team. I'm joking.
Yeah, I'm about to say, John. Hey, listen, I've stolen beforehand, but you didn't hear that here and then, so it's no shame.
I plead the fifth.
I've stolen before, so I don't.
You want to hear something funny?
Doing that too when I was younger.
You want to hear something funny? So our good friend David McNiner, apparently, apparently, he has a few ladies. Sorry, McDiner, if you're watching.
Which part of the brothel?
Oh, McDiner says if you're ever at Utah YTC,
Hey,
Really now?
he'll hook you up.
Shoot, say less.
yeah. Oh, Danhausen. Damn! Reverse back elbow by Kit Wilson. Toxic.
Shit, I'll take him up on that.
Because that's what Danhausen is. Oh my god, he is so undersized. Jesus Christ. I thought he would be at least 5'8", 5'9". Brother looks 5'5", 5'6".
Tuh.
Damn those elbows. Sorry about that, but oh my god. Sorry for us being underqualified.
Hey, listen, but I'll take McDonough on that offer. Like in the words of Kenny says, everybody looks the same when the lights are off.
Everybody got it. Yeah, everybody looks like a 9 when you're 8 glasses deep. I'm just saying.
That works. Oh, damn.
I mean, that's what my uncle said when he met my auntie. But besides that point,
yeah, once the lights are off, everybody looks the same.
Now I gotta get used to, and now I gotta suffer with all the Jets lingo for the remainder of the season. YTC, I gotta cover Jet shit. I'm gonna be drinking all day, man. I can't believe I lost that bet. I thought we were gonna somehow Cinderella a conference finals loss.
At that point, you might as well prepare for AA because you're gonna definitely be in it in 2 weeks' time.
Oh, Danhausen's curse worked. Pyro came from the ring post. What? A pyro malfunction cursed Kit Wilson and an eye poke on the Miz. You are cursed. And a rip-off bro kick.
Toxic.
And Kit Wilson loses to Danhausen.
So,
yeah, it's
you got the twink version of fucking Dolph Ziggler losing. I'll stop.
Here to show the will. I'm here. And Dolph Ziggler's
that motherfucker looks like a brunette Dolph Ziggler with the fucking hair and jawline and everything.
He reminds me of a taller Paul London.
Taller Paul. Don't disrespect Paul London. At least he was a tag team champ.
Oh, he better not be fucking smiling. That's an inside joke to the time Vince McMahon faked his death on television. But I like the Danhausen thing. Oh my god, they're YTC, look at this screen.
What now?
This is from WrestleMania 40.
But, yeah, at this point, I'm convinced everything ends in Philly because, everything dies in Philly. WWE hasn't been the same since they left there.
All right, think of the Elimination Chamber. I Show Speed, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Jelly Roll, Bad Bunny, Pat McAfee, Kai Cenat, and Lil Yachty.
So basically, the streamers because everything is taken over by streamers now. Literally.
And the special guest referee is Alberto Del Rio after he got arrested.
Oh, yeah, I heard he got arrested again. Typical.
What was it, drunk driving or domestic?
Domestic violence, again.
Oh, fucking Christ, dude, that's
hey,
a
woman.
record.
Hey, listen, at this point, I'm convinced women are masochists at this rate.
What's Del Rio's problem,
Some women are masochists.
I saw him boxing.
Because there's no way.
Hell,
it might be a bunch of masochists.
No wonder she likes getting choked.
A lot of women be into that intimate shit, and also that fucking. You'd be surprised.
And it sucks too, because Del Rio. The saddest part is he's probably the best booked Mexican wrestler since Rey Mysterio. And, I mean, since Dominic Mysterio.
He was a world champion too, so
he's a multi-time world champion.
Mm-hmm.
He beat Rey Mysterio.
They believed in him.
They believed in him. I was watching those vignettes of YTC when I was watching Friday Night SmackDown when it was on a sci-fi of all things. I mean, I think it was on
the zombie when he was called the zombie. That same Sci-Fi Network?
Yeah. That was when SmackDown transitioned there after ECW went under.
Yeah, they wanted to do some sci-fi thing because the channel was a sci-fi channel. Sci-fi,
Del
obviously.
Rio coming around tapping Rey Mysterio out, winning bragging rights. Then he gets in programs with John Cena after he got drafted to Raw, winning the WWE Championship. I think that was when he I don't think he cashed in Money in the Bank that time.
Mm.
But that was the most overpushed Mexican wrestler of all time. Who remembers the Del Rio match outside of 2011?
I remember when he had a return match, he won the U.S. title from Cena. I don't know, he was.
Oh yeah, that was like 2015.
Yeah, when he returned, they gave him the title.
They did nothing with him, and then he just fall off because of either legal disputes or like he was dating Paige when she was like 23, 24 years old.
Yeah, Del Rio was like in his 40s. Yeah, 40s.
But nobody complained when it was Justin Gabriel. He was like 36, dating a 19-year-old JoJo, widow of Bray Wyatt, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Now, currently, yeah.
Yeah. But that's interesting. I didn't even know Jey Uso was going out with Jada Parker. I'm a hater now, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud.
So if that's the case, all I have to do is just say one random Vine word to pull girls like her, and I'll stop. Just say one word. Yeah,
I'm gonna
just one catchphrase from 2013.
So bad. What?
Hey, that's all Jimmy Uso had to do too. If he would have been a more popular Uso right now, and he's more charismatic than Jay right now.
Well, you said eat first. Jane Cargill, why do you need a faction? That's my thing.
For someone her size, she does not need no damn faction. For her.
I got you.
This woman's built like a power lifter.
Who the fuck?
She's like a bodybuilder. Is that Michin?
Wait, what? Yo, you hear the background?
No, that's her. That's her grunting. I swear that's her grunting.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm being serious. That's her grunting. Yes.
You sure about that?
Yes, YTC. That's her selling.
I mean, a lot of people sell. You know, I mean, that's what they get paid to do. You know, certain people in the industry get paid to do.
This isn't China when she was in the adult industry. Calm down. Everybody loves China. I loved China before I met Stephanie. And we're going to give all the WrestleMania ticket sales to Israel. I'm joking. Yo. We love China. Everybody likes getting inside of the walls of China, just like X-Pac did.
The walls of China.
Oh God! Do not watch that video. That was terrible.
I'm back. What I miss?
Oh, just going over Triple H saying he loved China, the country, not the
China.
Everybody loves getting inside of China. Back in the locker room. Well, no, Hunter. That's not what I meant.
I have nothing to say about that situation.
Lil Yachty's moment on SmackDown was hilarious.
Little Yachty. Something probably the Awesome Kid listens to.
He sounds like he has tonsillitis.
Hold on. Who was that girl that Awesome Kid said was hot?
Sexy Red. The one with the face tats?
Oh, isn't that the lady who did the parody song for Shawn Michaels?
Yeah, do you remember?
Oh, God.
NXT.
He was simping for a woman.
It's on local television, and then I saw that, and then Shawn Michaels was like Shawn Michaels and Sexy Red, and then the song plays, the Shawn song.
Two Y's on Sexy
I remember one time Oscar said, "Hey, don't make fun of Sexy Red. She's a gorgeous woman."
First off, I don't think any woman with face tats is that gorgeous.
Sexy Red looks like YTC. You know who Young Thug is?
Yeah. What?
That's what she looks like. I'm telling you, I will never understand Sexy Red. That looks like a mix between a American Bulldog and whatever the hell young rapper was rapping like back in the mid 2010s.
Also, Bailey's a gorgeous lady.
Oh sure, lady looks like Jay Leno.
How dare you, DST? She's a gorgeous lady.
Oh my God, she's so attractive. I have to do zoom ins on her butt every time.
Oh, damn.
I'm such a
DST.
feminist.
DST, hold on. Listen, you want to hear something ridiculous?
Huh?
A year ago, Michael was doing a Monday Night Football stream, and then he shows these weird things on YouTube. And then he typed in the letter A and then the word Angela White, which I after
Wait,
that day
no,
I learned what that was.
was.
And then basically it was saved on his YouTube search. And then he was like, and then Get On Kid said, "Do you have like a fan page?" And Michael was like, "Yes." He said, "What?" He said, "No, I messed up. That's not what I meant to say."
You can't go to the fan page accounts, fam.
Apparently, she's a lady of the night for the computer.
Oh yeah, that's ball knowledge for you gooners out there. Just saying. Just
don't know what that word is. I'm too old.
Well, it's what we call deviance.
Oh, a sexual delinquent. That's the best way I can think about it.
It's how we call people deviants without getting demonetized on YouTube.
Delinquency.
Man,
Yeah.
YouTube needs to stop censoring speech.
I guess that's their way of doing it. Liv Morgan.
So
did
YouTube
they Photoshop Liv Morgan having a six pack? Liv Morgan, Nikki, and Brie Bella. Hell no! I hope they don't win the belts. Brie, Becky Lynch to beat AJ Lee, Rhea Ripley, Roman Reigns, Obafemi, Randy Orton, Jacob Fatu. Unsanctioned. Why not make it a steel cage match? You have Drew McIntyre making fun of his criminal history. Why not make it symbolic with a steel cage match at the biggest show of the year? Oh, it's okay. I don't know what wrestling is. It's cool. Randy Orton beats.
Man, half of the people don't even know what they want. That's what I said. They don't even know what they want. That's why I don't care about this. Who knows wrestling or not? They don't even know what they are.
Because everybody's trying to be in on themselves, and anytime I even make constructive criticism, they just think I'm infinitely complaining when I just brought a solution that would work. And everybody wants to complain about that, but then you're doing 15-minute documentary videos on why you want to sniff Bayley's residue off her wrestling gear.
Whoa.
I've been seeing that too many times. You guys are closeted perverts.
Oh man,
it pisses me off. This is why sometimes I don't want to associate with the wrestling community. Anytime I even pull over live streams when
I hate the IWC. I really hate the IWC.
The IWC is so captivating. And even when
not just that, they will spend ridiculous amounts of money and still complain about the product. Yet they're contributing to the reason why ticket prices are so damn high.
You guys proved it when you guys wanted to spend $20,000 on Liv Morgan's wrestling gear.
They will pay an absurd amounts of money just to keep these fuckers afloat and not do anything they change, and they still bitch and complain about not having the change.
Rhea Ripley would be a rich woman if she sold her underwear. And
you can say that about half the.
Still feel like we disrespect the WWE buries women.
You could literally say that about the majority of the roster if they went that route.
Yo, Sky, I'm shocked that she doesn't get a WrestleMania match.
She don't got a. Oh my god, that tells you enough right there.
Carmelo Hayes probably is going to miss WrestleMania, but Jelly Roll and Nitro Speed will make it.
So, what I just understood is that if the women of wrestling decided to sell their undergarments, old person word, someone would give them lots of money, which will allow these ladies to retire.
Yep, just like the lust is one hell of a drug.
Because that's how it is.
Man, listen, I am not a ripped bodybuilder, but I have something that a lot of people envy is I am not afraid to talk to any woman, no matter how famous she is or not famous she is. But there are other people, not you guys, but other people which I don't understand. Then they would rather just buy women's stuff. I don't understand it because maybe, like I said, I'm a grandpa. I'm a grandpa.
I'm a
'Cause at this
grandpa.
point-
I remember
this
when
point,
Hulk Hogan did a drop kick.
At this point, it's a lack of self-esteem. At this point, that's the only way that
Why is Gunther wrestling Seth freaking Rollins after the guy like was
I'm
off
a
TV
grandpa.
for like weeks, beating up on luchadors?
Back in my day,
Why John Cena returns to be the guest host of WrestleMania, but he's not in the Hall of Fame? You know who takes his spot at the Hall of Fame? Stephanie McMahon.
back in my day, when I met your grandmother, I actually went up and started talking to her. No, Grandpa, that's scary. Okay, it's enough. It's enough. Need to stop.
Dirty Dom versus Demon Finn Balor. Fam, I'm not gonna lie, you could have kept this at Backlash. Demon Finn Balor was so 2017. Do you still feel like Demon Finn Balor will get over after beating Dominic Mysterio? Guys, come on. Finn Balor's like the D'Angelo Russell of the NFL. Of the WWE.
D'Angelo Russell, that's wild.
No, because like everybody thought he was going to be good, and then the time he leaves or he joins another team, the people think he's reinventing himself. Then after he underperforms again, he goes to another team, tries to reinvent himself, but he can't adapt. Finn Balor wearing blackface and drop kicking guys all day while still speaking Irish. I said this years ago. All right, your best thing is a demon character. Can you act more demonic? And people's like, oh, you want it to be silly gimmicks all over the place. The Undertaker wasn't a silly gimmick to you?
First off, they thought The Undertaker was a silly gimmick to begin with, but yeah, he stood, if that's the case.
The Undertaker is a zombie man collecting souls and destroying guys. And he has made a career out of it. People take him as the gold standard of professional wrestling because he stayed in character.
And he evolved his character, actually.
And he did this all the time. The OGs of the business knew what he was capable of when he was getting roughed up all the time. And they still took him serious. Finn Balor's still writing off shit from the time what he was doing on developmental. How's that not sad to people? People still talk about the time what I was doing in Ohio State, and I have a 10-year NFL career. I think there's something wrong with me.
A lot of these wrestlers are just there for a paycheck. They don't have actual passion for it. No,
it's not that they have actual passion. They think that that's all they can bring to the table. That's the sad thing about that YTC. They already put themselves in the box, and they don't think they can go beyond or outside of it. They've lost how they are as characters.
Yeah, they don't want to experiment or evolve from the character.
Like Johnny Gargano thinks that he should already be beyond CM Punk on the card. I bet he believes that. Because he wrestled in high school gyms and elementary school and warehouses for 12 years. That means he deserves to be on the card above Brock Lesnar. And people's like, oh, I just don't see the hype with Brock Lesnar. There's a bunch of other guys that have, amateur backgrounds like Dolph Ziggler. Okay. Did he beat Hulk Hogan?
And can he draw?
Can he draw? I'm sorry. Ziggler doing sweet chin musics and famousers like Billy Gunn is not going to beat a guy that can superplex the Big Show.
And also because you need a compelling character to evolve. There needs to be a core philosophy of the character, larger than life. That's how they get over.
Wrestlers that are being cool, and then they take it like it's an insult. I'm sorry.
You want to know? You want to know how to make the best wrestler?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, make them what they're not. If someone's afraid of venturing, being independent, you get someone who's the opposite of that and who's fearless and is individualistic. Why do you think Jeff Hardy's so loved?
He represents still a bigger star than half of the guys from NXT Black and Gold. I will stand by that.
Why do you think Jeff Hardy's the most universally loved person in every walk of life you can think of?
Mm-hmm.
There's literally a trend of him being bigger than Obama in 08. That tells you enough right there. But after that, why do you think they like him? It's simple. Individuality, the creativity and the artistic expression and not caring. He's literally a dude with fucking rainbow hair, black nails, and fucking tattoos and arm bands doing all this flamboyant, flying over big structure shit. People wish, would be fearless, living a larger than life persona. But they can't in their day-to-day lives, so they basically live vicariously through them. That's how characters like them be loved by universally everybody. They don't have that no more.
Bigger than Chavo Guerrero ever was with Eddie as his tag team partner. I will stand by that.
Basically, to make the best character, you make the insecure, what they're insecure about, and basically project that, what they think is the example of what being fearless or what they're afraid of is into a person and character, and then just do it from there. That's how you make a good character right there. You take facets of those and put them in the one.
Yeah, honestly, when are people going to get it? Like gimmick, if your gimmick worked 10 years ago, but your gimmick isn't getting over with a bigger capacity, you're the problem. Finn Balor should have known this. You look at the YouTube views. Look, I'm not even going to use the ratings argument at this point. Finn Balor, Demon Balor, people want to see Demon Balor. You should have been Demon Balor.
Character-wise, yeah, he was very captivating. But at the same time, obviously injuries piled on, but also he's not that much of a good talker on the mic.
Oh, I'm here for my fans in Dublin. Let me drop kick you. Did you know I can do the too sweet sign? You else do it? Triple H. And the worst thing is they're coming from the Hippocratic oath that they're being original when you guys are doing the same shit that were big for the guys that were larger than life in the 90s. And yet you make this demonic persona of you putting stupid face paint on and you do nothing demonic. You don't cheat. You never underhand. You're not more aggressive. You just kick people and you don't know sell shit. Why are you here? I don't get it. Triple H doesn't get it because when you beat Dominic Mysterio, I doubt it. Because Dominic Mysterio is a bigger star than you. You will be on AEW getting injured in under 6 months, losing to Wheeler, Utah, or some bullshit. Because some of you guys just don't actually get the wrestling business how it's supposed to go. And then you'll see not a 120-pound Japanese woman getting higher up the card than you. And you'll still feel like WWE has to hate you. It's the same thing why you think a head coach hates you when you just weren't really up to the part that you're supposed to play. It's the same shit. That's why it's called sports entertainment.
Yeah, keyword entertainment. Vince knew about it couldn't just be wrestling. Vince knew it also had to be a larger-than-life spectacle of entertainment. That's what keeps people compelled in towards these characters.
I know.
Grand example, and John Jay, you could understand this because I think this is around your era as well when you were younger. You know who Goldust is, right?
Yeah.
You know who Dustin Rhodes is?
That's the guy
Dustin
who played
Rhodes.
That's the guy that played the gold thing.
And you know who is he the son of?
Damn, what his name is?
Dusty Rhodes.
That guy.
Those are fun facts. But he resonated with the character Goldust a lot more easy. That's how a gimmick gets over. People know the character. They don't give a fuck who you are.
That's true. Now
That's
he
how
hated
wrestlers even begin this to begin with because they want to get outside of the realm of reality. That's the whole fucking point. And I bring
at this point, I think the character was also to punish Dusty, in a way, to
that's
punish him to his son.
Respect Dustin Rhodes.
I don't
all-time guy. He should be in the Hall of Fame right now.
He hated
that point.
He hated the
He hated
character.
the Rhodes family.
I know, like he hated the character, but while he hated the character, it was
he did hate it.
His basically it was what he was supposed to be doing. Now, you can say what you want about Vince and all of his like antics and his off WWE, like Vince McMahon is not a good dude, and he justifies a lot of the stuff that he has done because he was trying to grow WWE, and so that's how he justifies it. Now, I have yet to see the Netflix thing about Vince McMahon, but
that's not happening.
And if it does happen, they're going to definitely retract a lot of information.
Oh no, no! This came out in 2024, but
that documentary.
But the point is that Vince McMahon said, when you are in the wrestling business, you have to do things that normal people aren't able to do. I, on the other hand, was not a normal person, and so I was able to get away with a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And Vince McMahon was a married person who had 2 children, and the stuff that he did shows you that there's a reason why your wife left you in the 90s, and even though she played your wife until the early 2000s, after that you did not see Linda McMahon ever again, in the WWE. And so it really shows you how his family was part of what he was trying to do. Now, when it came to the idea of what he created is that he had to shake a lot of hands, had to do a lot of deals under the table to create the product as a national entity in wrestling. Because if you look at a map before Vince McMahon had wrestling, you had 41 territories. Okay?
Yeah.
41 territories. The biggest territory was what we would know as WCW.
And NWA too. So.
Okay? And so WCW, and again, this is going to become very controversial because almost the United States, if you live in the Northeast and then you live in the Southeast, those 2 regions don't like each other for whatever the goddamn reason is. I'm a California dude. I don't understand. We don't understand. But there's a reason why WCW, after they was bought out, the many WCW guys did not want to go with Vince McMahon, and that's how TNA was created. It really shows you why.
Titties and ass. Wait, no. I'm total nonstop action. Yeah.
So, and if you understand your history books, which we don't have to talk about, but you understand why people in the South call people up north Yankees.
Yankees, yep.
Because they still, even though their descendants are still angry of what happened in their history books.
Yep, they're definitely still angry to this day.
So that's the reason why in America, even as we move forward, as we're supposed to be moving forward, there's a reason why there are some people in this country. Shout out to Levi. I'm so glad I got to meet that dude. But he tells me behind the scenes that he hates living in Florida because where he lives, there are a lot of people who say a lot of mean things. I'm not going to use the word because I don't want to get your show taken down. Mean things about certain people who live in America, and he hates it. And he wants to go back. He wants to go back to where he's from. And apparently, he actually lived in Maryland, but he loves the state of Colorado, and he wants to go back there with him and his girlfriend over time because he hates it. But he is not a huge fan of the stuff in Florida. And I know Michael says Florida's a great state, to each his own. But I will say this. I know TRL talks shit about, California, but I like TRL. He doesn't offend me. I would rather live in my shithole state than go anywhere else because it's my shithole state. I don't want to go somewhere else and, pretend that, I moved out here, blah, 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 blah. It's about where you live. And in the words of Tommy Huxley, I would rather live in a shithole than go to the state of Arizona. No disrespect to TRL, he's watching. But we are from here and we represent where we're from, and leaving, trying to go somewhere else, thinking that it's more better over there. Every state has problems. Just because people want to go to Texas and Arizona and Florida doesn't mean, it's perfect out there. There are problems everywhere, and so that's my point. So back to the wrestling thing. Yeah, WCW had some issues. That's all I want to say.
Hell, WWE is acting like the time when WCW was closing down right now, trying to bring up like reality and wrestling in the same sentence, and let people are liking how they're going of things. And now we're seeing that come into fruition. I wish I was a lot more optimistic because I love WrestleMania. That's my favorite part of the year. That's how I can get my brothers together to watch something together. Because none of them are big in sports, but we all grew up watching wrestling and enjoying every character that we watched on television. So that's how I resonate with that and how that bonds me and my siblings.
WrestleMania used to be a spectacle. You saved up $50 a month or something.
And
like
now
that.
it's 2
Just
nights
for that
of a
one.
mortgage payment.
Yep. You would literally save up $50 to $60 just to watch that one big pay-per-view. And now it's being treated lightly.
If that's the case, if I'm gonna pay $30 a month to watch 2 mid shows that you guys are trying to take me out of my weekend to watch, at this point, just dictate that Vince McMahon is innocent, Chris Benoit did nothing wrong, and Triple H doesn't deserve to be the GM anymore, and TKO was right. At this point, Pat McAfee should be world champion.
That's hilarious.
Pat McAfee deserves to be world champion over Cody Rhodes. Because as soon as everybody gets these swan song world title runs, and then you see Cody Rhodes, and it's like, oh yeah, Cody Rhodes, he deserves to be world champion. Yeah, what was his best part? I like his hair. His wife seems hot. I'm being serious. There was like, oh man, he deserves it. The last interesting thing Cody Rhodes has done was the time he tore his pectoral muscle. He had like a blood clot over his pec, and he had this rivalry with Seth freaking Rollins in Hell in a Cell, and he had to fight with an injured pectoral. That was the last conveying notion that Cody Rhodes was like a megastar, and that was him without the world title. You keep trying to force him to be the brand favorite. This guy's boring, and it's like, okay, it's gonna be you, protege versus mentor, WrestleMania. This is built up since a legacy when you were slapping his father around on TV, beating him up on pay-per-view. Then he disgraced you, costed you your job when you were in the Authority. Years of storytelling. You know what? Pat McAfee should be on the main event.
They literally give the Travis Scott treatment again.
There's no shot. I can come to that fucking writing room and I say, hey, I think Jelly Roll should play a part here. We should be doing these celebrity collabs with Danhausen. We should be doing these celebrity collabs with characters, not with 2 men that have history writing from the time I was in elementary school. These are men that grown up in the business together. When Randy Orton met Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton was in his mid-20s. Brother's in his 40s, trying to collect his 15th time world championship, while Cody's still trying to establish himself as the face of the business. We cannot be doing this with fucking Pat McAfee, and then you're trying to bury the company, saying that people don't deserve to pay tickets to be here. He hates the company, so he's trying to be the voice of the internet trolls while trying to still get heat. People like, what's the worst part about this, John Jay? They're directing the hate more to Cody Rhodes than they are the 2 bad guys that are supposed to make Cody Rhodes look good. Cody Rhodes looks more of a victim than he does the guy that's overcoming. Hell, every good guy on television is a victim. That's what you're telling me. And if we don't like him, that means it's our fault. Hell, I remember when I didn't like Kofi Mania. Because it was too manufactured. Because when you gave Kofi Kingston a microphone, you know who was speaking for Kofi Kingston when he won the world title?
What's that guy's name? His tag team partner.
Xavier Woods.
Yeah.
Nikki Langston were talking over the world champion of the company.
Plus,
like,
that wouldn't have happened if Mustafa Ali didn't get injured to begin with.
Oh God! Imagine if Mustafa Ali was champion. We'd be getting AEW Collision numbers. Oh my God! If we get 7-Eleven Seth Rollins coming up here, saying that he's from Chicago. Alien, 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 alien.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
God!
Yeah,
You
I've
haven't
never
got-
felt so agitated at the time when it's like Daniel Bryan. Okay, we're gonna drop the title to an up and coming face to try to build up to make him a new brand, face of the brand. Okay, who? Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston? What's wrong with Kofi Kingston? No, well, first of all, we're not going to go there. Second of all, he's an outstanding wrestler. It's just we did this before when he was fighting Randy Orton. And the best highlight of that was him sabotaging his stupid NASCAR gift. Financial fraud having Ted DiBiase gave him. Junior, not the old one. And since then, Kofi Kingston is still stuck at the same place a decade later. Oh. So if this is a anniversary gift, just given the world title at WrestleMania, how long are you going to have him hold it? 6 months. 6 months. Yeah, and then he's going to lose it to Brock Lesnar. Holy shit. And how long? 4 minutes. After 6 months. All right. And you see, now I know, like, the writing team is full of shit. And I understand it's always a number cruncher because they have to work with sponsors and all that stuff. I know how WWE wants to format the pay-per-views now, John J, because it used to be 8-match cards. And now they recalibrated it to a 4-match card in a 3-hour interval every month that now you have to watch on ESPN Plus or Peacock. Or if you
Peacock
or YouTube or YouTube Premium. Or can you sign here, please? That's how it is now.
That's
God
true.
forbid we want to actually book some of the guys that take a bump and have to be ending up with bruises every week, and they don't get to see their families every year, John J, because they're on tour every week. Wrestling has no off season, unlike other entertainment ventures out there. So when you're doing this, you have to show up every day. And knowing that Jelly Roll, that no one even knows that you were even the theme song for the World Cup this year. Yeah, Jelly Roll's theme song is in the World Cup this year, and no one gives a shit. Being the good guy on a WrestleMania pay-per-view, when already nobody even feels like putting their hard cash, that should be funding their children's university ventures. That shit should not be for nosebleeds for a show that you know you're gonna negative tweet online about.
Wait a second. Are you actually serious that Jelly Roll is the World Cup music dude?
Look it up. You can look it up.
Man, FIFA. There's a reason why you guys are more evil than the NFL and all
and
the
kill more lives than a lot of people.
Because I know it's a country song.
And FIFA?
So here's the problem, and
it's called Lighter.
Here's the problem that I have. The World Cup is not an American event. Yes, it's in the United States, but you have to understand is that soccer is not the American pastime. I understand that compared to what the NFL did, and people are still crying like little girls on the internet, but Bad Bunny would have made more sense for the World Cup because he's a global actor. And Jelly Roll would have been more better for the Super Bowl because football is the American pastime. And this is the reason why Roger Goodell, when he was asked about what do you think about the controversy, he says, well, this is how I look at it. Bad Bunny, global superstar, number 1 on Spotify, number 1 on Apple. And because he's number 1 and we look at the money, we chose him. And so basically what Roger Goodell said, and I don't know why more people were mad at Roger Goodell, when Roger Goodell says that we are going to look at Spotify and we're going to look at Apple Music to see who's at the top of the chart. If that's what you're going to be doing, you're basically saying that we do not care about the Super Bowl anymore. The Super Bowl is basically a game that's around our entertainment.
At this point, I'd rather Kid Rock.
So apparently I found out a few days later that Kid Rock did a halftime show for some Christian organization, whatever.
Oh, no.
And someone pointed out this. And a lot of people got really mad who really liked that show, but you can't be a hypocrite and call yourself a Christian. Again, this is the reason why I'm not religious no more. I am a heathen. I'm a bad person. Christianity cannot bend the rules, and then you promote a guy who has history with issues, and of course he has written songs about degeneracy, but because Kid Rock aligns with these ideas, and again, I'm trying to be really careful what I'm saying.
Detroit till I die, motherfucker.
It really shows you that being a Christian in 2026 is no longer something that you should be proud of. Because if you're going to be promoting something like that, and there's a reason why I have arguments with people. If you go to a church, you have to live by the example that's being there. Oh, no, I don't have to. My church tells me I could be a sinner. Okay. You're not getting the point, but I'm just going to shut the hell up because, again, I live around a lot of dumb people, which really ticks me off every single day. I am probably the only person who says, I am a bad person. I cannot live of the rules that and I went to a Catholic school. For those who don't know, it's a religious school. I went to a Catholic school. And my priest taught me one thing. Live a respectful, honorable life. We're going to make mistakes as humans, and we are who we are. There's no perfect way to be a Christian person. If you can acknowledge yourself that you are a bad person, then you are basically living a life. We're all humans and we make horrible mistakes. But pretending to be, oh, I'm perfect, I am a good person, and then you have a lot of bad stuff. No disrespect to the people who saw the Kid Rock halftime show. They're all hypocrites because they're all bad people.
I am a surgeon.
So
I am a surgeon.
Okay, I'm done.
Let me hear. Sorry, John Jay, go ahead.
No, I'm done with my dumb rant. It's one of those.
Let me hear what the fan got to say.
If you have to put the tickets on a 25% off sale just to sell the tickets, don't you think that implementing two people who fans said they did not want to see back into this feud is going to get them to buy these tickets? I think not. So how about we use our brains in this business? I don't understand how the people that work for this business even manage to shower and feed themselves, because they continually do this every week. They treat us like jerk-offs. They treat us like idiots, and they just shove it down our throats again and again and again. And we say, we don't want McAfee, we don't want Jelly Roll. We want cheaper tickets, and we want actual feuds. And what do we get the next week? All we get is 25% off for one night, which will get you nothing for a family of fucking four. Let me tell you that, folks. And all we get is even more Pat McAfee and even more Jelly Roll added into this feud. I don't understand. I really don't. If you took an IQ test of everybody that works in creative, it would come back that they have a combined IQ of at least maximum 4, because they are just completely brain dead to what is actually good wrestling. Like, I don't understand. I can get 3 of my friends, get a pizza, get a 2 liter of soda, get some weed, and get high and book this show in my sleep because I love this business, because I love wrestling, and it's not that hard to book wrestling properly and give people who work hard and want to take their families to see these shows and put on a good show for them. It's not that difficult, but they continuously do this every goddamn week. It's like, when is enough already? This is not going to get people to buy merch. It's not going to get people to buy tickets. And it's not going to get them to continuously want to.
You know what's the worst part about this? This man is 100% right, and WWE is still going to do it.
It's clear who they want attending their shows, and it's definitely not the working common 9-to-5 guy. I'll tell you that much.
Part, it's just to compensate shareholders, just to see that they're accumulating over the revenue, and they're trying to push over the result, trying to feel like if they get them the max guys, even though, you know what's the worst part? That's not their exact demographic. Who in the fucking Lil Yachty? They already say that wrestling's fake anyway.
So
yeah, exactly. They're just there for the influence. It's literally sports Coachella. I keep saying this back and forth. That's what it is now.
So basically, Monday night, WWE will be in Sacramento, California, basically up north, 4 hours away from me. And their cheapest ticket is $293.
Fucking
for a nosebleed. For a nosebleed.
That's hilarious.
Hey, babe, I got you the best seat. That young man has a shirt off. Oh, okay. Who's not wearing deodorant? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Who's that hoodlum wearing a skirt?
Babe, what do you mean they're only showing the Giants games? They're only showing the Giants games, not WrestleMania? Sorry, bro. WWE cut off our watch-along centers over on the bars, so you're just watching San Francisco Giants games for the time. Fuck! Sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
I apologize, John. I didn't mean to put it... I don't know what's a local broadcast for Las Vegas networks. I apologize.
No, I'm saying $293 for a Monday night show. Yeah, that Netflix, they gave so much money to Netflix that they gotta pay that bill.
Oh no, they gotta pay because they're three. You know how much debt they have, John?
Also, the UFC debt as well too.
Oh, and the UFC debt. That's $3 billion of fucking debt. That's $3 billion of debt for Jelly Roll. For iShow Speed, imagine the payoff on that. And for the compensation that these guys are going to play the numbers game when it's like, hey, we had YTC, you know how many tarps we used for night 1 of WrestleMania?
What?
We used a combined 14 tarps for both nights of WrestleMania. And the tarp business has now made all-time profit. You know how many tarps I made every superstar here. I'm the father figure. I'm better than that bitch Vince. I love Saudi Arabia so much.
That's Saudi money.
And it sucks too, because I wish I was more optimistic for this card. But I have LA Knight wasting his potential with fucking iShow Speed.
Hell, I'm not even expecting nothing next year for WrestleMania. It's going to be in Saudi Arabia. That tells you enough right there. And nothing in Saudi comes out good. Name me a good Saudi show that's ever happened during their Crown Jewel or Super Showdown.
That time, Titus O'Neil fall on his face under the ring.
That tells you enough right there. If that's your biggest moment.
That time, elderly Undertaker versus elderly Goldberg.
That tells you enough right there.
Cain Velasquez that can't wrestle versus Brock Lesnar.
That tells you enough right there. Their history in Saudi. How ass is going to be again next year.
Elderly DX versus Elderly Brothers of Destruction in a tag match.
So I just got a text message. The San Francisco Giants defeated the Baltimore Orioles. All right.
Yay!
The Orioles.
You see, at least there was a silver lining. I mean, and it sucks too because I like the card looks nice on paper. That's the worst part about this. I would like to see Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vaquer mix it up for a title match.
But, of course, the build is, I'm assuming, weak.
The build is so mediocre because they're trying to, like, you think we can fit Jelly Roll in the... Oh, how? Tell me what. I don't know. You can't even say you're not Road Dogg. You can't say you don't know. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. You know what's missing? Maybe Bob Orton can come up for the storyline to bring over to give heat that his father's still alive while Cody's is passed away. No, Pat McAfee will maximize profit for WrestleMania. In what fucking world? They could even get like a popular celebrity like Jack Black or like Jason Momoa that looks like fucking Roman Reigns. We get fat ass Ozempic jelly roll that can't sing. The World Cup song over fucking Shakira or some dumb shit. Shakira that had like Sama.
First off, I would have preferred at that point just get Shakira collabing with fucking Stephanie Vaquer or some
I'd rather Pitbull for the World Cup. At least people know who the fuck Pitbull is. He's an American. People know Pitbull songs.
Mr. 305 and stuff.
Nobody can tell me a viral jelly roll song to save their life within 15 seconds. 15 minutes.
Is true.
I'll give you 15 minutes without looking it up.
What up, also Florida too.
Jacob Fatu unsanctioned. What the fuck is unsanctioned? And this is the second ever unsanctioned match. Who gets over in a unsanctioned match? Seth Rollins versus Gunther has no reason to exist except we just need Seth Rollins on the pay-per-view, or that one fan will be upset that Seth Rollins that laughs like Mandark from Dexter's Lab comes up here.
Mandark, oh my
Gunther.
God, I'm done.
Gunther over here wasting his potential. Brother beats John Cena. I get Seth Rollins. That's an upgrade. He could have retired Rey Mysterio. We put Rey Mysterio on the ladder match for the Intercontinental title. Elderly ass AJ Lee that should be baking cookies for her child facing Becky Lynch. Why? I mean, the mixed tag match is going to be okay, but Nikki and Brie are going to botch it up. The ladder match should be way more interesting than it should be. No, this is a 6-man tag. The Usos and LA Knight versus us, 2/4 of the Vision that are all injury prone and I show speed. I'm actually excited to see what this kid can do, actually. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns should be like the highlight of night 2 next to Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley. People want to see if Oba can beat Brock. So night 2 seems to be more of the heavy-hitting must-see matches with Penta, Rusev, Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, Javon Evans, and JD. We know that you're not winning, buddy. We know that nobody ever bets on you. Oh, my God. You rip off Finn Balor. And Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams. Sammy Hogan versus Trick Williams. We know Sammy isn't getting a black guy over. And Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio.
Sure.
You can put this on Backlash and you can't tell the difference.
So basically the bathroom break matches.
At this point, because there's no way that it's like, oh, finally, the Judgment Day is over. The Judgment Day is still here? Yeah, they're going to do their blow away for... Why? Why now? Why this needs to be at WrestleMania? Because the Judgment Day has been holding back Finn Balor, but they never interfered in his title matches. He lost too clean. Oh, God, Finn Balor's a jobber. Yeah. Oh, God, what does this end? And it's going to be 2-night events. WrestleMania tickets costing probably a third or a quarter of a guy's paycheck that they could have paid for groceries and something for their second wife. With their host being John Cena, that's just going to bring up the attendance and do a face-to-face to tease a Saudi Arabia match, defeating the whole purpose of his retirement. Fuck ESPN and fuck Netflix. I swear to God. WWE always makes me lose faith sometimes, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I want to be really optimistic and be like, this is going to be one of the highlights of the year because it has the ingredients to succeed, but every time it just wants to step a couple necks closer to fuck you up with these prices and the expectations, and then it belligerently insults your intelligence when you watch your weekly programming. I'm not there to see Lil Yachty. Nobody's there to watch Lil Yachty. Nobody else over the vicinity above the demographic know who Lil Yachty is. And I mean just the demographic, because of course regular people know who Lil Yachty is. The WWE already don't promote that they're supporting for the casual audience. WWE doesn't know their demographic from A to B. And yet I need to know who Jelly Roll is. Wrestling fans don't watch sports. Look at wrestling fans. They don't know
I
who
guess
Pat McAfee is.
we're the outliers. That's it.
And the demographic of wrestling fans come from like 30 to 45 plus. Most of the wrestling fans have a second mortgage to watch wrestling and have disappointing children. So
They're also the equivalent to Disney children, that attend Disney World every year and waste
No
go into debt and millions just to watch. You're going to do the same thing over and over.
no impressionable fan wants to be like Finn Balor. No child has to accidentally dress in blackface so they can drop kick somebody from the top rope. You're kidding. The only person that got over while still having blackface is still Roddy Piper. I will stand by that. Beat it. Just beat it. Like at this point, there's got to be some type of silly thing.
Mhm.
Imagine promoting a massive surprise all week just to be announced that the tickets for the biggest show of the year are on sale because you can't sell them, and have them be announced by the guy who is one of the main reasons why this guy's absolutely going ham.
Yep.
And you know what? This is the equivalent, John Jay.
Yep.
This is the equivalent. This is probably what you were hearing the headlines of when you were watching on TV. This is what you're getting now for WrestleMania.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if the show's still going on, but I gotta go.
So the show's been over. The SmackDown's over. It ended with two women fighting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll catch you later. I don't know how long you go on, but I can't be on later.
All right.
I appreciate having you on, John Jay. I appreciate the time that you got with me.
I got a new sleep pattern, so I got to sleep more earlier because I have the Tommy Huxley schedule. I got to wake up at 5 a.m.
Well, my sleep pattern's fucked because I'm going to the gym at like 2 a.m. in Eastern time.
All right,
Damn, 2 a.m.?
Enjoy the gym.
I work a night shift with YTC. I'm a borderline owl at this point.
No, I got to go to bed around 12:30 or 1 my time, then get up around 7 for me.
I read it. Enjoy the gym.
Well, thank you, and thank you for being on with me, guys. Thank you.
All right. You have a good one then.
You as well. We're gonna close off here. Appreciate the guests and any of you guys that missed out over on the stream. I'll post over the shorts when they're uploaded in the latter time. Thank you for showing up. You guys have a great rest of the weekend. God, please save me. Now I got to support the Jets, and now I got to watch WrestleMania. That's it for me.